Demble says
he is the one who holds sway, holds influence directly with Vladimir Putin and also with President Zelensky. In some senses, you kind of have both sides playing this diplomatic game of trying to appeal to the United States rather than seriously dealing with each other.
The president now headed back to Washington from his Middle Eastern tour. He has been talking with European leaders on Air Force One. Engineers and management at New Jersey Transit sitting down to bargain again, but not till Sunday. This morning, thousands of commuters found themselves without a way into work because of the engineers' strike. Sean Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura cross-examined on what's likely her last day on the witness stand in his sex trafficking trial. This is ABC News. The Census Bureau is out with its latest look at population trends, and North Texas appears to have some of the fastest growing communities in the nation. ABC's Jim Ryan lives there. He's in Dallas.
In the top 10 by percentage growth are places that even many Texans have never heard of: Anna, Salina, Fate, and Fulshire. At the top of the list is a Dallas suburb called Princeton, which grew by 30% to 38,000 people last year.
We're the fastest growing city in America during a residential moratorium. That says a lot.
Jim Waymeyer heads Princeton's Economic Development Corporation. New home construction was paused to allow new infrastructure to be built, and people were still moving in. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Secret Service and FBI investigating a post on Instagram. Former FBI head James Comey has since taken down a picture of shells on a beach arranged in the numbers 8647. 86 can be a euphemism for get rid of, and some have pointed out 47 could represent President Trump. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood, and even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who had been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Indoor water restrictions have been lifted in Manitou Springs. Outdoor restrictions still in place. Earlier this week, due to a high water level in French Creek, the city couldn't treat water coming in and implemented the restrictions due to a critical water shortage. Bustang to Estes Park resumes service for the summer a week from tomorrow, Memorial Day weekend. The bus will make 2 round trips on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays from Union Station to Estes Park and Rocky Mountain National Park. Each coach has a restroom, bike racks, Wi-Fi, and storage for travelers. The Nuggets in Oklahoma City will play a Game 7 to determine who advances to the NBA's Western Conference Finals. Denver winning 119-107 at Ball Arena last night. Jamal Murray, questionable after being sick earlier in the day, played 42 minutes and had 25 points.
I'm just glad we won. We brought the right energy needed, and they're a good team. They stuck with it, but we gave ourselves life to go to OKC and win the game.
Game 7 Sunday in OKC. I'm David Kale.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
They're still seeing a delay coming out of Broomfield on the Boulder Turnpike near Interlochen as they're clearing an accident, but we're looking at a backup in that area. 270 still running pretty slow, both directions out of Commerce City. We've had a little traffic coming out of the airport on Pena heading back to I-70. It looks like I-70 west from 270 back to I-25 sluggish, and I-25 south into downtown, maybe a little bit of company. No major difficulties with traffic. I'm Jonathan Steele.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
Keep listening for your chance to win $1,000.
Oh my goodness!
Every hour, weekdays, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. With up to 9 chances a day to win $1,000.
Thank you so much.
On Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
It's that easy.
Sponsored by Maverick.
It's time to stack your savings. Maverick wants you to get the most out of your Adventure Club offers, in-store deals, and third-party coupons. So our new checkout feature lets you combine them. Join the Adventure Club and head in today. Maverick, adventure's first stop.
Imagine cutting out the middleman when getting a new home loan. Whether it's a traditional mortgage, a reverse mortgage, a HELOC, or a refinance, CMG Financial is the leader. They're the bank. They can beat almost any rate out there. I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. If you're looking for a home loan, you need to call CMG Financial. They're going to save you a ton of money. Don't let the other guys fool you. Go to partnerinlending.com. Partnerinlending.com.
This May, both Triple J Armory locations, Littleton and Colorado Springs, are bringing the heat. We've packed the month with exclusive deals and free shooting days. Want in on the action? Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the full schedule of events and promotions. Whether you're upgrading your arsenal or just getting started, Triple J Armory has your six. Come see us in store or visit triplejarmory.com. Triple J Armory. Locked, loaded, and local.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome all to the only show of its kind. We are here to help you. It is Car Day on the Troubleshooter Show. Any car questions you have, of course, as usual, I got Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech. We got Deputy D, Deputy Doc, Shannon running the show. Kelly answering your phones. The phone number is simple. 303-713-8255 or 303-Martino. What's the show about? Well, I'll tell you right now. We get directly involved in your life. Maybe you need advice. Maybe you've been ripped off. Maybe a contractor took money and never showed up or did a horrible job. We get directly involved in your life to help you either recoup money or stop you from losing money in the first place. We have a list of experts at referrallist.com, including attorneys, real estate attorneys, estate attorneys, you name it, we have it. Personal injury attorneys, criminal attorneys that are willing to give free advice to our callers because that's what we all do. 303-Martino, 303-Martino. Gentlemen, start your engines. I watched a 10-minute YouTube video this morning on shops like you guys have, independent shops. And I didn't realize one of the biggest complaints right now is the cost, and we're talking pretty new cars. I'm not talking electric, although I'm sure they fall into it, but we're talking new cars that GM and Ford and Nissan and all of them are putting such a firewall up, and tell me if this is true or not, for you guys to get to the information and diagnose them through the computer. You have to spend the most outrageous money in the world to buy some of these updates for your stuff. And this guy that I was watching said it could eventually, if something's not done about it, be the death of some of these smaller shops. One of the guys owned a transmission shop, Jeff, and he was saying, I forget if it was Nissan or Toyota, but one of them, some of the updates are so expensive for these computers you guys use. It's just ridiculous. Unless if you're doing a ton of them, it's not even worth buying. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, guys?
You have to buy a subscription to start with.
Give us an idea of real numbers.
Nissan, if you want to download an update, you buy it as though it's a part. So every car that you log in, you want to do an update, is $250.
Oh, wait a minute. So
even if you have the subscription, you have to buy the download.
So each car, if you had 10 Nissans, you had to update.
$2,500.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Does the dealerships work the same way with them or no?
Well, it's their parts, so I'm not sure how they work, how their finances work. But for us, it's accessible and it's available. But
so if you have, and they have to make it accessible, but now it almost seems like this is a way of getting around it. You just make it so astronomical, and it's horrible for the consumer because ultimately you have to charge the consumer for that.
Sure. But you have multiple components. You change the door handle on a later model vehicle, you need to update it.
All right.
You're telling me if a door handle breaks on, say, a Nissan or anything.
Well, it's crash protected, so if the door's open, it won't go in a gear.
Well,
so now you got to you got to get.
And if it's a Nissan, that costs $250.
$250.
So not only does the consumer have to buy the door handle,
yep,
they got to pay for the programming.
Yep, we put an airflow sensor on a Nissan yesterday, and the airflow sensor's $100, the labor's $50, and the programming's $300.
Oh my God!
Because we had to update the programming to match the
I wonder where the fairness comes in, because there's organizations out there that they're lobbyists, and they purely make the rules to where they have to give independent shops access to stuff. That is crazy.
Not for free though. Yeah, they give you access, just not free.
No, so not even 10 years ago, I remember I spent, I want to say, 8 to 10 grand on the computer that talks to everything, or back then everything. And then there was some different updates, and there was very few things we couldn't do. But each year, I'd have to update that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we only had one computer. Most techs aren't going to buy this for the entire shop. Is it still kind of that way? Or do your techs own them?
My techs all have scanners.
So but you pay the $250, the shop.
That's a whole different scanner.
That's a whole different scanner.
That comes off on a laptop-based program. So the handheld scanners from, say, Snap-on or Autel or one of these, most of the techs have their own, and we have a shop scanner.
Well, depending on which scanner you've got, we've got on our Zeus, we actually have to pay a monthly subscription in order to keep that thing updated.
Yep. How much is the hardware, roughly?
To buy the actual scanner itself, depending on which package you got, between $12,000 to $15,000.
And then you have to pay monthly.
Then you have to pay monthly.
And then, like Kevin's saying, certain things you got to do something totally different.
Yeah, you go through a pass-through connector where you work off of a laptop to do the programming he was talking about. And then you actually have to go to Nissan's site or Chrysler's site or whomever, and they all have different prices that you have to go through. And you have to download different things for different parts of the car.
That's insane.
And if you screw it up, you own it.
My favorite so far is your example of the door handle. You have a $100 part. You've got labor for that part. And then you have another $250.
Well, some of these later cars, too, like he says, if you screw it up, if you lose battery power for whatever reason.
Yep.
And,
so you plug the laptop into the ODBC, too?
Right. With
a pass-through.
With a pass-through connector, correct. So it can actually
it's like
communicate.
a J-box, they call it. So it talks to it.
Some of these computers now, because they come stupid, so you've got to program it. If you're in the middle of a programming session and you lose power, something gets corrupted in
lightning,
there, boom, it wipes out the computer.
And
now you have to buy another computer as well, and then get another subscription to reload it.
How often, when you're rebuilding a transmission, do these kind of things come into play?
Probably once or maybe sometimes twice a week do we actually have to get in and do the programming.
Oh, my God. It is so insane. It is so insane. When did they go to that kind of subscription model like Nissan? Is that fairly new?
I'd say 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Easily.
God, they keep coming up with stuff.
Well, a lot of the equipment just became available to us a few years ago. It used to
you couldn't even get it.
Yeah, you pretty much had to roll this thing over to a dealership. A lot of times it didn't start. So
that's why a lot of guys don't do Europeans, because Europeans have their own scanner, their own this, and we don't see enough of them to justify the cost.
Yeah, you have to see a lot of Jaguars to get there or whatever.
So that's why you get the European specialist.
I learned from a guy that runs or manages a Safe Light that Tesla, up until not long ago, didn't give anybody access for the calibration. Now people can buy it, but when you look at a bill, when you get a windshield done there, that calibration pack's the same way. They've got to literally log in to Tesla with the VIN, and Tesla kind of sends them something, and then they hook the computer up to Tesla, and it runs through whatever and calibrates it, but it's like a one-time per VIN. And then they charge them for it, and then, of course, you see it on your bill from SafeLight. I mean, it's like, that's for a windshield. I mean, it's getting absurd. Hey, Marilyn, what is going on with you? By the way, we got 3 lines open, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Would love to hear from you right now. Any car questions, buying a car, issues with a car, I got the best in studio. Marilyn, what's up?
Hi, hon. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it.
Thank you. First and foremost, I have a home where I have about a 12 by by 12 sign saying no trespass.
Okay.
I had a process server come yesterday, banging on my door to the point where I jumped because he banged on the door so hard.
Yeah.
I answered the door. He asks for my husband. I tell him he's not there. He's not here because he's a trucker, so he's over the road. And he says, and I ask him, well, who are you? And he says he's a process server, and he's from the commissioner's office. I told him, well, my husband isn't here if it's for him. And he says, well, I could leave it with you. I told him, no, it looks like it's something important, so no, I prefer that you come back when my husband's here. So he just flipping through his papers and I don't know what not and says, okay, walks off, comes back about a minute later and says, I talked to my boss and they said I could leave it here. I told him, no, sir, I prefer not to sign for anything for my husband. I prefer that he do it. And he says, well, I'm leaving it. So I have a wrought iron door and it has the slats and the screen. He leaves it there and just walks off. Is that legal?
That's a great question. Hold on. We're going to talk about it after this. Is it legal? Very interesting question. She's got a huge no trespassing sign. The guy simply walked past that. The service is for the husband. The husband does live there, but he's a long-haul trucker and he's not there.
Mark, there's more to it than that. Marilyn said it was from the commissioner. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. We'll find out, but I've got a lot of insight into this one. Hold on, Marilyn. 303, Martino. I didn't know what that meant either, the commissioner. Isn't that the guy from Batman? Who puts the bat
Commissioner
single?
Gordon?
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. Could be something to do with his CDL or something.
It could be Gary Bettman, the commissioner from the NHL.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but a commissioner of what?
CDL, commissioner of DOT or something, who knows? Road
Commissioner? I used to deal with CDOT when I had trucks, but I don't remember the term commissioner.
Well, the easiest thing would have been just to accept service and just move on.
Mark Szymanski, my man. In fact, they just finished up the most beautiful job at our house. Mark, if we start thinking of siding, if we want you guys at Genesis Total Exteriors to come out and do siding, what is the benefit of using you guys? And just tell me about siding in general, Mark.
Well, Mark, there's a lot of choices out there. And now I tell you what, in Colorado, people are really concerned about fire. And we have 3 great products out there that resist fire, or the Class A fire rated against. You got the Hardy, you got Allure, and then you also got those 2. And so then I forgot the name of the third one. But
yeah, that's all right. But they're all high fire rated.
They're all high fire rated, Class A fire rated, and they're great products. And I tell you what, we've compared our prices installing these products compared to some other people out there. And we are beating everybody's pants on price on installing.
That part I don't even know why you brought up, because I know that. I have used you guys so many times, and you know me personally, Mark. We hang out, and we've gone to football games. But the bottom line is this. I still get bids from everybody, man, and your pricing is absolutely great. And I don't care if it was the deck work, the exterior painting, the interior painting, the railing, all the stuff you have done is incredible. You guys do stucco as well, and just because we're talking fire-rated, is stucco highly fire-rated or no?
Yep. You're getting your same fire rating as a Class A fire rating with stucco also. Yep, stucco does not start on fire and is a great option also to upgrade the look of your house.
You guys should, anybody out there that needs anything exterior, especially siding, give Mark and the gang a call. I vouch for these guys 100%. They're honest as a day is long. If there's ever an issue, Mark steps in and gets it done. His crews are great. Some of his people, like his painters, have been with him for, my God, 15 to 20 years. And on top of that, they do a lot of commercial stuff. In fact, they're doing bathrooms right here in the studio, the iHeart studio. They're remodeling 4 bathrooms here. So if you have any commercial projects or residential, these are your guys. Check them out at I wanted to give the phone number out here. Call them up, 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509. I appreciate it, Mark. GenesisTotalExteriors.com or on our referral list at referralist.com. Zero Res, man, do they got a deal right now. Great carpet cleaning. High alkaline, super soft, purified water is one of the best cleaning agents in nature. They call it ZR water, and that's what they use. Their hot water extraction is unbelievable. When they came out and did our house, we couldn't be more happy. In fact, the carpets were pretty much dry within 2 hours. The stains that other people could not get rid of were gone. They also do tiling, grout, and granite, and mattress cleaning, area rugs, upholstery. And check out this deal. 3 rooms, $119. 3 rooms starting at $119. And you get a free hallway. Think about that. Free hallway. This is only through May. So you got to get this on the books. 3 rooms starting at $119, a free hallway. And I'm sorry, I just read something here. That's only good through today. You want that free hallway, like you have an upstairs 3 bedrooms, you better call them today. You don't have to have it done today. You got to get it booked by the 16th. And I'm staring at that. So call today. 3 rooms starting at $119, free hallway, and they'll even take $75 off duct cleaning if you want to do that. ZeroResDenver.com or 303-471-5150. Damn, that was too long. I screwed that up, brother. Yeah, I watched that this morning, and I was kind of like, wow, I had no idea how crazy it was. The one thing I remember we always had to do, and I don't know if you guys can buy this equipment, but when you do a cluster, can you buy stuff to reprogram the cluster, the mileage and stuff?
That's in the body control module, and then the...
So you can reprogram some clusters.
Some you can, yeah.
Even after replacement?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how they stop people from doing mileage shit.
Well, they don't.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because somebody can, and, the guys figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's all cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Or better mousetrap.
But that's their logic in charging for this and subscription, so they can track that for anti-theft and everything else. That's their excuse.
It is so funny how my Gmail. Tell me, how do you spell this? Just look. Don't even say what the word is. But how do you spell that? Is that correct? Yeah, it is correct. Do you like how it underlines it? Now, guess why it underlines it. Because I spell that word wrong so many times, it's convinced mine's right. All right, 303-713-8255. It's crazy, and I'll talk about that later, but I just pointed something out in Gmail that drives me crazy. And I still, for the life of me, don't understand it. I don't know how to fix it, and it's just nuts. Let's get back to Maryland. Maryland, basically, someone was trying to serve a lawsuit or a court appearance to her husband. She's got a big sign out front that basically says... no trespassing. And she's got some kind of a lot gate or something like that, some kind of fence or something. But anyhow, so I want to answer that one first. Now, a process server with a no trespassing sign should not come out of your yard. They can't legally do it. I don't know what the ramification is for it. I guess you could call the police and try to get him cited for trespassing. But no, he should not legally do that. But that really doesn't matter, and I'll get into that in a second, Marilyn. I don't understand why you would fight it at this point. They left it. It's evident it's there. And what would happen is if you showed up to court to actually fight, or if your husband did, the process server or the actual service itself, they're just going to show up and reserve you there. So in most cases, the best it's going to do is extend the process of when the court date would be. At this point, you know about it. Your husband most likely knows about it. I guess you could simply say you didn't know about it and not show up to court, but you risked something really big, and that would be a default judgment. So my gut tells me you should show up, or your husband, or at least call them and try to figure it out. But you said something that threw all of us off. I'm curious about. You said the commissioner. What the heck does that mean?
Yeah, from the commissioner's office, and I'm like,
the commissioner of what?
He didn't even tell me what county. He had a really bad attitude, like he was angry with me or something. And here I just met the guy.
That sounds like a process server in general. What does the paperwork say, though? What was it about?
To my knowledge, I don't know. It's still just sitting there. I'm afraid to touch it, because if I touch it, am I going to get in trouble because I'm not the one that it was supposed to be served
No,
to?
you can serve anybody at their residence, and anybody that basically is there and opens the door. Not a child, though, but I mean pretty much anywhere else. You did get served. Your husband did get served if that's his residence and you open the door. Did they do it properly? No. But once again, none of that matters. He did get served.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there anyone I can talk to about it? Like, as if he wants to pursue it with an attorney for him coming on our property, not once.
No, that part doesn't matter. The only thing you could do there is call the police up and tell them this guy trespassed as a server, but I don't think they're going to do anything about it. It's very technical when it comes to a no trespassing sign. Technically, you're not supposed to trespass, but people do it all the time. Go ahead, Dimitri. You've served a lot of people. You must have thoughts on this.
Well, we had a almost identical call when you were gone, and Marco Beninelli was guest hosting the show, and we discussed what constitutes gutter service, where the defendant is not properly served.
Yep.
And he said to this caller, and it was pretty good advice, which is you can fight the service. You can hire an attorney to make a limited appearance in court on your behalf, and this limited appearance does not entitle the plaintiff to serve the attorney. So they'll have to start the process all over again.
Well, that's what I said. It's purely a time play, because you do hire, if she hires an attorney that does everything Marco's talking about, they're going to end up serving her at some point. And all you're doing is resetting the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're spending money to do it.
Eventually, they'll find a way to serve you.
Well, no. I think eventually they're going to serve you in court over the bad service.
Well, my point is she doesn't have to show up to court.
Oh, I got you.
If her attorney
and
shows
you're saying
up to
they
fight
don't
the
have to serve the attorney.
And, they won't be able to, because the attorney is able to make a limited appearance on her behalf.
I got you.
Simply for the purpose of fighting the service. However, it's still stuck in the door, Marilyn, so go take a look at it. You got nothing to lose. See what that is and see when your answer is due, because maybe they served you late and maybe the answer is due on Monday.
What do you think it's about? No one knows who you are, but what do you guys think it's about?
I think it's about property that we have in Bennett, Colorado.
Okay. So you guys have, at least you're aware of it. And do you think there's actually a good case against you, or it's something that you guys could defend? In other words, do you guys think you're on the right?
Yes, I do. I think we're on the right, most definitely.
And if it's a property dispute, maybe you talk to someone on our referral list about this, but you, just like Dimitri said, you really need to open it up and see it, and then share it with, like, Bradley O'Brien. He could probably look at that and give you guys some really good advice on the actual underlying situation. But I really don't think you should worry about the service at all, to be quite frank. I mean, you're eventually going to get served. All you're doing is putting it off, and that probably I bet you that costs a couple $1,000 to fight the service these days.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it's more important to see what the heck is it that you guys served with, and what are the deadlines. Because you don't want to miss any of those, regardless of the quality of service.
I wonder what the commissioner, that part really, like a land commissioner, a county
commissioner, more than likely.
If the county's coming after you, you guys better look that up and get with an attorney. I thought you meant like a neighbor dispute.
No. We have 2 parcels of acres in Bennett, Colorado, and my husband, he does part-time junking, and sometimes he gets kind of dirty.
Oh.
And I think that might be what it's about.
Got it. They're saying the land is being used for something it's not supposed to.
Yeah, like a zoning violation or maybe even a contamination violation.
That would suck.
No, we have ConocoPhillips on there that drilled an oil well.
Yeah.
So it's not considered vacant land.
Are you leasing the land?
We own the land.
Well, how is ConocoPhillips on it?
Well, they found oil on the land.
Yeah, that's not
And they
my...
drilled-
Did you give them rights to go in there? So are they leasing the land? How are they using it? How did you guys extend permission?
They came and told us that they found oil under our land, and we have the mineral rights.
Got it.
So we gave them permission to drill there, and all those big tanks and the drill head is there, pump jack is there, and everything. And we were told that once that moved in, that it's not vacant land anymore, and they're trying to say it's vacant land, and it's not anymore since the drilling went on.
Interesting. I think
That's what it's about, too. You could probably get ConocoPhillips to come in on your behalf.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You might want to get that opened and then reach out to whoever you did the deal with ConocoPhillips. I assure you they got more attorneys than the entire state of Colorado. No doubt about it. And I don't know why, if there's oil on that land and they're pulling a profit out of there, they're the ones that are probably going to look at this. Are they still out there on the land? They still have a deal with you guys?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
And
you guys, you really should open that up.
Yeah, stop ignoring it.
Yeah, don't ignore it, and then reach out to Conoco before anything and go, hey, guys, what the hell's going on here?
Hey, Mark, before you hang up, aren't there exceptions to the trespass rule? In other words, if you're a cop or you're a mailman or you're a delivery person, that you're allowed, I forget what the word is, that you're allowed to go up and knock on the door.
Oh, a police officer or somebody of law enforcement, absolutely. I never thought of a post office worker, but I would assume maybe a post office inspector or a post office cop, absolutely.
Or even just a mailman.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm sure delivery drivers are immune from that.
But not with a process server under most normal circumstances. Now, a sheriff serving it would be an interesting one, because the sheriff showing up to serve it, yes, but this guy wasn't a sheriff.
No, I know that.
So, but that's a good question, Doc. I'm sorry. Hold on. Go ahead, Marilyn.
When he walked off, he had this big old smile, and we have off-street parking. He started taking the license plate number to a truck that's parked in front of my house, which does not belong to my husband, but he's taken down the license
Marilyn,
plate
you guys,
number.
no offense, I assume your husband's in the same boat as you, which is good, but you're really focusing on the wrong thing. The service is done. You know about it. No matter what, you guys got to face the piper on this, no matter what. And just, I really think you guys need to quit thinking of this aspect, because there is going to be a court date. Someone signed off on that service. You can go in front of the judge, like I said, and say, tell him exactly how you got served. If he lies under oath to the judge, well, he's crazy. Or maybe you got video surveillance or something. But if he doesn't lie...
We have neighbors. All the neighbors have videos.
That's fine. Maybe they've seen it. But, Marilyn, listen to what I'm saying. You go in there and you say, Your Honor, they didn't serve us properly. And they didn't. From everything you told me, this guy did not serve you properly. And you prove it to the judge. And the guy acknowledges it to the judge at a hearing. You know what happens then? They serve you right then there in the courtroom. That's my whole point. And then you just started the clock over. Big deal. They've got to go get another hearing. You're going to end up showing up. Now, Dimitri gave some advice from Marco, who's an attorney that we respect on this show. And he said you can hire some attorneys that can fight it to where it won't go down that way. But you're still going to pay a few $1,000 easily to do that. You might not win. And eventually you're going to get served again. That's where it keeps coming back to. So, I mean, you've got a lot of things to think about, but what I would do is go open that package, see what's going on, reach out to Conoco or Exxon, whoever it was, and then, basically, if you need to hire an attorney, I'm telling you, send it over to Brad O'Brien. I mean, that's just kind of how you do it.
But how about if she opens it up, reads it, and calls us? and then we can maybe point her in the right direction.
Well, I already know it's got to be Bennett. I mean, they've basically already acknowledged that, but make sure it is. I mean, my goodness, it might be Ed McMahon trying to give you $1 million. More after this.
He came down a paved walkway through a gate. All they'll do is tell him not to come back. Because next time it'll be trespassing. Yeah, next time it'll be trespassing.
Our biggest mistake was opening up the door the second time.
I would want that to find out what the hell's going on.
What? They already know what it is.
But if you ignore it, it's not going to help you.
No, exactly. What if unless you have the ability to fight it, get up and move and disappear. Yeah. It sounds kind of weird, though. They're saying they don't lease the land, like they just give.
No, she asked you if she was leasing it from somebody else. She owns the land and she is leasing it to them.
Yeah.
But I think she understood that she leased the land.
I got it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Barry Miller and Vestera Turnkey. It's a wealth building program. There's people yielding returns of 50% or more. Very minimal risk. It's all backed by a deed and the property that you own. But he's good at finding property across the country in areas that are up and coming. They're appreciating at a very quick rate, outpacing the rest of the country. But it's very, very minimal risk. And Tom Martino is now involved. Here's what I want you to do. Check him out. 100% at VesteraTurnkey.com. VesteraTurnkey.com. Fix it 24/7. Man, Hannah was in the other day. They have got a deal going on right now with generators. It's unbelievable. They teamed up with Generac. They can come out and they're going to tell you and design the system for you, give you a price. There's no obligation, but give them a call about Generac generators. And let me tell you, people in cities are getting them, in the woods and the mountains. If you've been thinking about a generator, now is the time to at least get a bid on one for free. FixMyHome.com. FixMyHome.com. You got to mention the show.
I wonder if they drive 4 hours to go put one in for me.
They would.
Would they?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, actually. I say that. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Almost every house we look at in Slidell has them, just because, hurricanes. They are badass, though, man. They have come so far. And if you have natural gas, what would you have to run?
We're on propane.
Oh, so you got a big tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's perfect. And those, they're really the same. You just change the, I don't even know what it is, a nozzle. What's the feed?
Oh, yeah.
I remember I had a propane grill, and I bought a kit and hooked up natural gas to it.
Yeah, it's just a different orifice type.
Yeah. They're pretty cool, man. Do you ever lose power up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks because then our fire alarms go off and say carbon monoxide detected. Carbon monoxide. It'll drive you fucking batty.
Plus your cameras if you want to see what's going on. All kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for internet up there?
Well, my cameras are battery, so I just have to charge those from time to time.
Got it.
So we're currently on HughesNet. I've got Starlink, but haven't been able to hook it up to a proper spot so I can get a good vision of the sky. I've got to get it above the freaking roof line, because I've got too much tree coverage. But trying to get it up there and getting it into the house and getting good vision there. But if I give up the Starlink, I may not get it back right away because they only have limited coverage inside our area as far as how many satellites they're putting out there.
Do you have a pole?
Yeah, but I've got to have to get this thing up. Well, I don't know if you've seen my house.
Let me see it. I have, but
it's a couple stories, isn't it? 2 or 3 stories.
Yeah.
Do you have a chimney?
Yeah.
If you take a big pole and rack it on your chimney. See, my Starlink, even around there, it can find... I got trees everywhere, but basically 1 or 2 areas where there's a little thing, and it always finds those holes. It's pretty remarkable. Do you have the baby one or the big one?
I've got the square one.
Yeah.
You have a monkey that can climb up there?
Yeah.
So here's an interesting case in the Colorado Court of Appeals about 6 years ago about this exact topic.
What, the disturbing?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it on air. Seriously, let's do it on air. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to get up. My kid's showing up. Miles has his second walkthrough interview on this new store. I think he's going to get it.
Where's the new store?
Nebraska, I forget. Kearney.
Oh, Kearney, Nebraska. Is that bigger city than the one that he's in now, Mark?
I'm going to get it above that roof line.
Yep.
But I can't put it on the roof itself because the snow will destroy it.
The snow, get it. How about that? Can you strap the pipe to that big smoke pipe from probably the potbelly or whatever?
Well, what I'm looking at probably doing is because I've got.
Well, now wait though. How come your Hughes shit's working fine?
Because it's just run a satellite. It's only got to point in one direction.
Yeah, but I mean, my Starlink. I mean, sometimes it'll go one direction, another time completely different, sometimes straight up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
My Starlink just fucking bounces around like crazy.
With all the tree coverage, I can't get it.
It just doesn't bounce.
Even when I got the Hughes net put up, they were questioning whether or not I was going to get be able to get the service out of it, or at least a reliable service. So, and it's decent at what we get. Sometimes it's slow, but
so. Mine at my house, it got so much better in the last 6 or 8 months. It's probably just because he's launched a shitload more of those fucking birds.
Well, I should probably do a new scan because I haven't done one in a while.
How long?
Probably 6 months.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, mine is crazy now. I used to get, if I was lucky, I'd get like 40 down and about 10 or 20 up, which is, for almost everything is fine. But now I'm running... My average now is 200-300 down and 50 to 100 up. And my, the milliseconds is like that. All right, 303-713-8255. We got lines open. If you've been ripped off or taken advantage of or any car questions, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Love to hear from you right now. Dimitri, during the break, was doing some research on service. We get that question actually quite a bit. Was I served legally? And a lot of times you might not have been, but it really doesn't matter ultimately. But you discovered some Colorado case law?
Yeah, Mark, I looked up a much more narrow topic than what you just summarized, which is basically, can a process server trespass?
Yeah.
And specifically, can a process server ignore a no trespassing sign?
Yep.
And the case, and I was kind of surprised, the Colorado State Court of Appeals ruled on this in 2019 in a case called People versus Neckel. And Neckel was being served by somebody on his farm despite no trespassing signs, and Mr. Neckel allegedly misbehaved towards the process.
Like shot his ass or what? I mean, how much did he misbehave?
Well, it's pretty humorous, but allegedly Mr. Neckel came out wielding a metal pipe, and as the process server tried to retreat, he found that somebody had jacked up his car, so he wasn't even able to escape.
Oh, wait a minute. So the process, who jacked up his car?
Well,
like Neckel's kid?
Well, I haven't gotten that far. It's a 25-page opinion.
Oh, my God.
But it's fascinating. There are even excerpts from the 911 calls that both parties made.
So, read one of them.
Oh, it's, let's see here.
So this guy goes to serve him. He goes past the no trespassing. Did he, park at the no trespassing, then enter the property?
It's a farm, so he parked in a long driveway. And so Mr. Neckel is alleged to have said to the 911 operator, he's on private property and I'm going to neutralize the threat right now.
We got to get Mr. Neckles on. Or my kind of, he could go after bad contractors.
The process server. The 911 operator responds, no, you can't do that. Neckel says, would you like me to render him incompetent? Would you like me to shoot him? Needless to say, Mr. Neckel got prosecuted for several felonies, and he appeals his conviction. However,
he appeals it as of now or going back?
No, this is back. This case
so he got in trouble then and there for the threats.
Yeah.
And apparently, chasing the guy with the pipe and beating up his car.
He didn't beat up the car. He jacked up the car with a jack.
Oh, my God.
So the drive wheels were no longer in contact.
I love this guy. But he gets in trouble.
He gets in big trouble.
And then, so he either goes to jail, whatever happens to him.
He gets convicted of several offenses.
And then he does what?
He appeals.
He appeals, and what did he appeal based upon really the start of the no trespassing.
Yeah, that seems to be the genesis of his entire defense. Ultimately, it didn't work out.
I like this guy.
He lost an appeal. The appeals court affirmed all of the lower courts' decisions. But in any case, the relevant part that I was trying to find is not whether it's legal to threaten with the process
to jack up the guy's car.
Right.
You imagine you jump in your car and the wheels are spinning, you're going nowhere.
But the appeals, so I was interested in a more narrow topic, which is, does the process server need to turn around when he sees the no trespassing sign? And basically, the appeals court held that no, a process server can proceed despite the presence of a no trespassing sign. However, you can revoke the person answering the door or somewhere in the house can revoke this implied license to enter the property by telling the dude to leave.
And when he left and came back.
Yeah, so not only...
Oh, I see where you... No, hold on. So tell me if the way you're reading this, if this would be correct.
Yeah.
This lady looks out, sees this guy walking up.
Yeah.
She could have probably have yelled out the window.
Yes, leave.
You cannot trespass, leave now.
Leave now, and he would have been required to turn around and leave.
But because she opened and talked to him, and I'm just talking about our caller.
Yeah.
Because she opened and talked to him and didn't revoke it, actually she did. She told him to leave, according to her.
Yeah.
He left. He went out and made a phone call to his boss, and the boss said, no, bring it back.
Yeah.
So it probably was
that's trespassing.
That was bad service.
No, that's a separate issue, right? What I was trying to find out is if the guy was truly trespassing. So when he came back, he really was trespassing.
Yeah.
Because she revoked his limited right to license to enter.
Yeah, so, but like I
Furthermore,
said, though, it probably was bad service, but what the hell's the difference?
I think that's a different issue,
Yeah.
right? So did the guy commit trespass? In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, in my opinion, he did as well.
Was the service bad as a result of his trespass? I don't know.
I would say it was. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, because the service of process is governed by an entirely different body of law, which is going to be Colorado Civil Procedures.
Yeah, but I'm still telling you, it doesn't matter. Because even if they go to court, they're going to get served there.
Right. This is just an interesting intellectual exercise.
It's very interesting,
So,
but I would argue, yes, you can't trespass and serve somebody.
Yes, unless people tell you to get the hell out.
I had Girl Scouts one time. I said, you get the hell off my lawn. And they came. I'm just kidding. No, I did not tell
and
Girl
leave the
Scouts.
cookies.
And leave those damn cookies right in that wagon. No. It would be curious, though. I wonder who could answer that. I mean, a service
whether or not it's
company.
bad service. Oh, any of our attorney friends could answer.
You'd be surprised. No, they don't. They just wait for the service to come back. I mean, really, they might.
They know the law. They know CRCP.
They might have thought, okay, you name one. Let's get them on. I bet they don't know.
Oh, Marco.
Get Marco. Get
phenomenal.
Bendinelli on. He might still be on his trip. Hold on. I got to take this break. We got open lines, 303-713-8255. And by the way, if you're a process server, we'd love to hear from you right now what you know about this. That's I like that. That's a great story. What a great story.
Let's get Nickel on the phone.
God, I'd love to get Nickel. We probably got to take a collect call from the Douglas County.
Whatever prison he's in. Do you want me to shoot him?
Those are the best things.
You want me to disable him?
Do you want me to disable him and kill him? The 911 operator must be going, there's no way this is
Can't
real.
do that unless he's in your house. Come on in, motherfucker.
Oh, my God. Become the banker. I love these guys, Joseph and Jordan Chiano. They have an annuity product right now that's amazing. You get a 15% bonus no matter what amount you pay. That starts working from day one. If you're around 50 years old like I am and you want to retire at, say, 67 to 70 years old, $100,000 or actually $100,015 with bonus, you could be getting $3,000 to $4,000 a month till the day you die at that age. On top of that, if something happens to you and you need long-term health issues or have long-term health issues, it kicks in and doubles that check to the day you die. Check them out at mymoneymyway.com, mymoneymyway.com. Speaking of companies I love, Denver Regen has helped me lose almost 35 pounds in about 5.5 months. I got about 10 pounds to go. Hopefully that'll be in the next month. I went to Nashville, and I probably had too many high-calorie beers, and it doesn't help with that. It just makes you feel not hungry, and it makes you feel very content, and it gets rid of the food noise. You have to check these guys out right now in May. Half price, only in May. Only $148 for your first month, and all the other months are like $295. No one's cheaper than that. That's doctor visits, medication, you're all in. Check them out, talk to them, denverregen.com.
I just realized this morning coming in, too. You know, when your guy called in last week and he was talking about driveways doing pavers and whatnot, and you didn't know what pavers were?
Say that again?
When your guy called in talking about pavers for doing the driveways and you didn't know what pavers were, that whole circle drive and walkway coming up here into iHeart, they're all pavers. You've been walking on them every day.
Those are pavers.
Yeah.
Out in the circle.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing with the
I always
walkway.
think of pavers are people that come out and try to sell you asphalt. What are they called?
Pavers.
Pavers. So whether they do asphalt or brick, they're pavers.
Yeah.
Or whatever, it doesn't matter. So a paver is basically anybody that does a road.
Yep.
So dirt is a paver?
Could be.
Well, that's a paver, but the
Chip
actual,
seal would be
those
a paver.
actual bricks out there are called pavers.
They're called pavers. And if they're done right, they work well.
Mhm.
But it's a lot of work to get them done right. I don't like it. It's just you get too many uneven. You get a little bit of water settle or something.
Well, and you got holes in the drive out there.
Yeah, you got to dig and pull them out. And, yeah.
I wonder if Martino's listening. He just sent me the oddest text.
What's it say?
I just saw you send me to voicemail.
Oh, I know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
He saw you glance at your phone, see that there's an incoming call, and you rejected it.
No.
That's what that means.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what you did.
No. He's so... Okay, yeah, you're right. He probably saw it. I see what you're saying.
He saw it through the YouTube.
Here's who I sent to voicemail, Thomas. I don't even know who it is. 803-760. I'm not going to give... Unless you have an 803 number. Who the fuck... Oh, maybe that's his stupid Google number.
Oh, that's what it was.
Hold on, I'm going to play the...
So you did send him the voicemail?
No, I'm going to find out right now.
Brenda, this is Tara.
Nope.
Calling on behalf of Safeco Insurance.
Nope.
Just wanted to follow up with you to see how the repairs were going or if there was anything.
Anyhow, it wasn't you. I didn't send you to voicemail. I sent Safeco to voicemail. So in your face, Martino. He must go to bed every night going, I am so blessed to have that Marc Mager in my life.
Oh, I'm sure that
he is the kindest soul I've ever met.
803 is South Carolina.
Yeah, it was Safeco. I played it.
Okay.
That's who I sent to voicemail, brother.
Now watch, he'll call back and you'll send him the voicemail anyway.
Oh, you know it.
I know you will.
He must go. I am just so blessed more and more with Mark.
Well, you have to have the dirt in your life to appreciate the good, Mark.
Yep.
I would not refer to Thomas Dirt at any point ever. It's funny how we gel so good. Question about convertibles.
Is that car convertibles or bond convertibles?
Is there any convertibles that you can, like, actually put the top up, like, because it starts raining while you're on the highway, or no way?
Not that I'm familiar
Not
with.
that I'm familiar with. There's way too much drag.
They probably did. Well, newer ones, the computer probably doesn't even allow it to happen.
Yeah, I think under a certain speed you can get away with it, but they don't do like the old ones used to go like straight up and they're 8 feet off, and then
now they're more of
an arc. Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if they. Is there any that are true hard tops that are convertible though? Not having to take the whole thing off like a Jeep.
There's some. Was it one of the Mercedes where it folds up behind the back seat.
It goes into panels.
The trunk opens.
So it is a hard top.
Yeah, the trunk opens up for it to just drop in and close.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful Lexus coupe like that.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. We want to hear from you. By the way, Tommy Boy is going to be on at noon, taking over for me because I hate bragging about my kids, but I do it all the time. My daughter is graduating law school. Thank you, Kelly. In Laramie tomorrow. And my parents flew in Wednesday, so they're in town. Suzanne's going to pick me up with my parents, and we're going to head up to Laramie from here and see her and see my son who's driving in from Nebraska. It's like a family reunion, and I'm looking really forward to it. 23 years old, just turned 23 years old, graduating law school, and she will take the bar, I believe, in July. And she's got a job lined up big time with a man I really like and that works right here named Dan Kaplis. And she's been working for Dan for, my God, years, ever since law school. So congratulations, my love, my Adeline. Hey, Jim, what's going on with this convertible?
Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jim. How are you? Do you own a convertible?
No, I do not. I want to buy a convertible. It's on my bucket list.
Why is that? I'm just curious. I've never, they look cool, but I mean, they look like they're also a pain in the ass, but go ahead.
Well, yes and no. The very first car I owned was a convertible.
Nice.
That was 55 years ago.
Did you pick up a lot of chicks in it? Is it like a chick magnet if you do own one?
Well, it wasn't a bad thing, let's say that.
I like that. What is your question?
Well, I want to buy a convertible. I know there are some problems with convertibles, but I'm at a point in my life where it's something that I want to do, and there's only two, as far as I know, only two American car makers that make convertibles now, Chevy and Ford.
Is that correct, guys? You guys even know? Oh, American, he said, though.
Yeah, American.
Yeah.
American car makers.
Well, what other American cars are there?
Dodge.
Oh, okay, Dodge.
Yeah. Are you looking for new or used?
Well, it kind of depends. I would buy either potentially.
What are the Chevy and Fords? I assume. Well, the Mustang's electric only now, so that's not going to be a convertible.
Come either way. You
can get a gas?
100%.
Is that's probably going to be a convertible? They've been doing it forever.
You can probably get it in a convertible, yes.
And then I would assume can you get a Corvette?
I could get it. That would be probably my last choice. I'm not sure I want to spend that much money, but I would consider that. So it would either be a Camaro or a Corvette.
Oh.
And there are a few foreign makers, but I'm
the
not
Camaro
sure
would be sweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the kind of money that they're asking for, like a Lexus convertible or something.
How much is like the cheapest one? Is that going to be the Mustang?
Probably Mustang and Camaro are pretty comparable in price from what I've seen.
And how much are those now?
You know, you can spend anywhere from like $25,000 to $50,000, I think.
Wow, that's crazy.
Whether they're new or used.
So what's your budget?
And what I'm looking for is feedback as far as, you know, any issues with reliability, or is it just kind of a, you know, it is what it is.
What about a Miata, guys?
So you're not necessarily asking about the convertible part of it. What you're asking is, out of the Chevy and the Ford lines, which is one of the ones you want, what do these guys think are the better running cars? Hold on, that's a great question. 303-713-8255.
I had a Miata once, and the coolest thing was it's so small, you could reach back and pull the top up without having to get out of the car or do any kind of fancy stuff. I thought that was
I'm
great.
okay. Thank
Those
you.
Miatas are so tiny. They're cute, though. I'm good, thanks, Dimitri.
Yeah, but that's a chick car, man.
The Miata?
The Miata, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a modern-day
He
midget.
gave up his man card.
Okay.
Before I had my sex change operation, it was perfect.
This was when I was living down in Trinidad.
He was in transition.
This is crazy. In Colorado, a teenage guy who was here illegally, had no driver's license, killed a 24-year-old young lady, and he gets no jail time.
JR, I sent that over to Zero Res, and their upper management is looking at it, and I told them that the guy is requesting a refund, or at least a pretty big chunk of the refund, and I will let everybody know on air once I know the answer to that. But I sent out the entire complaint. Their side of the story, I don't mind saying this, their side of the story was a little different from the person that went out there. They said the guy started threatening them. So, I mean, the guy was pretty pissed. I think the wife 100% said it was fine to do. I think she said, yep, we'll pay the $1,000. And I understand that one stain might not work and you might have to come back and do it. And she signed to that, and I think she agreed to that. I think the husband, his head exploded when he found out how much carpet cleaning was and what his wife did. So when they came back out to fix it, or came back out to see what was going on, the husband just went off on everything. So there's definitely two sides to the story. And we'll see what they do. I think they should probably give them at least 50% back, if not just make it go away and refund them. Because this guy, he's the kind of guy that's not going to stop.
He's never going to be happy.
He might dress up in a cow suit.
Those are effective.
Those are real effective. They think they're opening up a fucking chicken joint. Yeah. Thanks, JR. It's so funny how quick kids grow up. I swear to God, I was screaming at them both.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for not eating their fucking broccoli or whatever.
And no matter what they accomplish, they're still your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't look at them as adults.
You know, Miles was so stubborn. He loved Bob the Builder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 7 years old, whatever, 5, 4, whatever. I don't remember. So he did not want to, basically, he didn't want to use the potty. He must have been more like 3. He just didn't want to. Or 2. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even remember what age kids start using the potty, to be honest.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, me neither. He would piss. No problem pissing. But he'd rather shit his diaper. I'm sure he would love this fight. You know, if his girlfriend's listening.
So Miles could go number 2.
Miles did go number 2, but he didn't want to do it in the toilet. So Suzanne came up with this, and he loved Bob the Builder. Just like I love Matchbox, they had little Bob the Builder everything. Like Rolly was the steamroller, etc. So we bought him the 2 he was missing out of his set and put them right up on the fireplace mantle. And they sat there for about a week. The only way he could get them and play with them was to start using the toilet. And it took about a week, and he started using the toilet. God, you would think, what would you... I don't know what's wrong with kids. Why would you rather shit in your pants than shit in the toilet? It's crazy.
My son, we had a problem with accuracy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well,
the wife would get
mine loved to pee outside.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, we lived in Elizabeth for acres, yeah. So
oh, very nice.
You look out, and he's out on the front deck, which is the second level.
Mm-hmm. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
it's good. I'll eat it. I'm not going to tell... I'll say, you know, I was shocked.
Yeah, but we had a problem with accuracy, so the wife started making these little paper boats.
Oh, yeah.
And put them in there. You had to sink the boat.
Heck, yeah. Well, it's just distraction, right?
I won't.
Right?
Thank you.
My kids, the problem they had, my youngest was scared because they watched a movie.
Or something came up.
I saw that.
So if the shower curtain was closed, he had to like drop, pee, and scoot like all in 5 seconds because he's afraid somebody's
going to jump out of the shower.
That's weird.
So I had to leave the shower curtain open, you know, like once it would dry, whatever, open it up, or he was afraid somebody's in there.
Weird. All of
so
them.
He's looking at that as he's trying to pee, and it's just everywhere.
Did your kids ever have a night terror? Any of you?
Oh, heck
And
yeah.
what?
That is a whole different ball game.
I have never in my life been so scared. She looked, Addie her eyes were open, but she was like, she wasn't conscious. She was absolutely terrified, screaming for her life, and she had to be maybe 5 or 6. Suzanne and I sat there for 20 minutes debating what to do. We couldn't snap her out of it, and we were going to drive her to the hospital, And she finally just kind of calmed down. It was gone. And we went to the doctors the next day, and they said, it generally happens once, maybe twice, and it won't happen again. And it never happened again.
My son, he went, it was probably a good year where we're, probably once a month, sometimes twice a month.
Dealing with that.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It is absolutely terrifying.
You got to wonder what's going on. Like, what the hell? How are they so embedded into this dream?
They don't remember it.
No, they do not remember it.
And there's so much energy exhausted when they get up. They're screaming, moving around, jumping up.
My little brother had that problem, but we caused it.
Blanket party, 2 a.m.
It was his turn to take out the trash. And coming from the backyard is a couple of steps down to the driveway, and there's bushes and stuff. So me and my older brother, we run out the front door and hide behind the bush. And you can, and the wind's blowing. I mean, it's one of those kind of weird nights anyway. He's like, and we like, ugh! And he absolutely froze. And we did the mature thing. We ran back inside and left him there because we didn't want to get in trouble. So, to this day, he's like, that screwed me up for my whole life. I can't,
Till this day.
My sister won't go in an elevator because of what we did to her as kids. We would stop the elevator, between floors.
Oh, yeah. Hit the alarm.
And she, to this day, will not go in an elevator.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she blamed, I don't know why she blamed it on us.
The most scary thing I remember was my daughter getting back to me. I had her convinced that the three of us, meaning Suzanne, myself, and Miles, were going to Hawaii. I had her convinced because she was in law school and we were going to go during the year. She showed up at home saying she was pregnant to get me back.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
So good.
Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. We're here to make your life a little better to the tune of over, $300 million cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds. I got Jeff Vick here. I got Dimitri here. I got Kevin Calkin here. I got Deputy Doc here. We got the whole gang together, 303-713-8255. We were talking during the break how we used to scare our siblings. Well, I don't have any siblings. And it made me think of a story with my daughter, Addie, who's graduating tomorrow, by the way, law school. Anyhow, Suzanne and I tricked her about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was finals for that year up in Laramie. So it was finals for the semester. And we told her that we were bringing our son to Hawaii and we wanted her to go. And of course, we booked a trip right when finals were, so we knew she couldn't. She was devastated. She bought it hook, line, and sinker. Devastated she was. And then at the end, we're just kidding. But I've always done that to my kids. It's just the way I am.
You know what I did to my son? We were driving, we had flown to New York and borrowed my sister's car to drive up to the mountains in New York. And I don't know how old Eric was, but she had one of the first cars where you had the radio controls on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So every time Eric went to change a station, we would change it, and we convinced him that he broke his Aunt Kathy's car.
No idea.
And he was in tears, just crying like crazy.
I love, we've always been a practical joke family, so when she went to get back at us for it, it happened probably about 4 or 5 months later, so everything was just well forgotten, not looking for the comeback. We get a call that she's coming home from Laramie for the weekend, and it was unexpected. And we're like, what the hell is she coming home for this Friday? In her school, they never had classes on Friday, so sometimes she'd come home and then leave back up Sunday, but generally not. And she goes, is Dad there? She's talking to my wife. She's talking to Suze. Is Dad there? And she's like, well, he's not here right now, but why? And she's like, well, I really need to sit down and talk to both of you. And I don't want to talk about it right now, but it's really important. When's Dad going to be home? And she's like, well, he should be home in a half hour. She's like, good, we're about an hour out. Or she's about an hour out. So Suzanne calls me. and says, hey, the blah, and tells me about it. And I'm going, wait a minute. There is nothing good about this. Absolutely. I can't think of any reason except for one reason she is saying this. And I say this to Suzanne. I said, I bet she's pregnant.
Oof.
I said, I bet she's freaking pregnant. And Suzanne goes, I was kind of thinking that too. She goes, listen, no matter what happens, you got to be cool. You have got to be cool no matter what she says. You got to hold your poo. And you got to be really cool on this. So we wait, and we're just sweating it out and sweating it out. And she shows up, and she looks stressed, big time stressed. And she sits down, and sure enough, she goes, I don't know what to do. I don't want you guys mad. I'm pregnant. And Suzanne explodes. The one that told me to keep cool. She goes, where is that boyfriend of yours? How come that son of a bitch isn't here? How come he's not here facing the music? What's going on? And I'm over there going, damn, I don't got to do a damn thing. She's got this thing handled. And I'll tell you, she had us so good. Suzanne was so mad, just so frustrated, not over the pregnancy, but over the boyfriend wouldn't show up during this conversation. And then I look over at Addie, and I just see this little smirk. She got us. She's like, that's for Hawaii. Oh, it was terrifying. The most that must have been one of the most terrifying things. I was speechless. Have you guys ever seen me speechless? I absolutely was speechless.
I've never seen like Suzanne go off either.
That
was
I wish she was here. She was pissed.
Yep.
All right, what are your thoughts on this convertible? Jim called up. He wants to buy a convertible. It's kind of his dream car. His first car was a convertible years and years ago. And, now he wants it on his bucket list. He's going to buy a new one or used one. He wants to know what you guys think of American convertibles or American car companies that make convertibles. Which one's better to get?
I think they're both equal. I don't see a big difference. I mean, both the cars are impractical.
Well,
they're not winter
he said
cars.
He doesn't care about used. He could still move into Chrysler. They had the Challenger that had a convertible option back in 23.
Yep.
If he's doing used.
If he's doing used. So, you still have,
So you would say, would you tell Jim whichever one you like the best?
Yeah.
And then if it's used, get it checked out.
It's his preference. There's nothing about any one of them that's better than the other or worse than the other.
Hey, Jim, what was your first one when you were a teenager?
It was a 1958 Alfa Romeo.
Oh, wow. Do they still make Alfa Romeos, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen one in the parking lot here.
I paid $600 for that car in 1972, and you can't put your hands on one now for less than $150,000.
Oh, that's incredible. That much for real?
Highly collectible.
And these guys were telling me about a Mercedes they used to make that would literally, it'd be a hardtop, and there were panels that would fold up into the trunk. That sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, that does.
So, basically they're saying, really, guys, you're saying whatever one he likes.
Sure.
Just get it checked out.
Yeah, because they got to be extra cars because they're not getting the winter.
I didn't know Mustang. It was funny you said that. Every Mustang I see is electric. I didn't even know they made a gas-powered one now.
Well, less and less.
Yeah. You got any other questions, Jim?
No, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that, too. I was thinking my first car, it was a 79 Granada. There's no nostalgia there. I will never buy a 1979 Granada. What was your first, Jeff?
My first car that I bought was a 67 Mustang.
Nice.
So, and I actually just sold that here 2 years ago.
Oh, no kidding. You've had it since then?
Yeah.
How much did you buy it for?
Originally, I bought it for $2,500.
That's a lot.
So,
yeah. And then when did you buy it? What year?
It was 1988.
And then what'd you sell it for?
Well, it's a project car now, so I sold it for $2,500.
Oh, okay. So you broke even 25 years later.
Well, I think I took a wash on it. That $2,500 doesn't go quite as far anymore.
No, it doesn't go anywhere. No, that's like a 12-pack of eggs and a hamburger.
That's it.
And then what was yours?
69 Malibu.
Malibu, nice.
Yeah, and it was a convertible, which I would never do again.
Was that a 5-liter?
305. Yeah, it's 307.
Yeah. Those were pretty popular.
Yep.
So far, you guys beat the hell out of my Granada.
Yeah.
Now, I had access to my parents' car before I ended up getting the Granada.
Sure.
And that was a Chevy Chevette. So there, I was rolling.
Yeah, the one that I had access to was actually a 74 Vega.
Yeah.
4-cylinder with a flat cam.
Nice.
You couldn't get in trouble in that car.
You could not.
I had a Chrysler Town and Country wagon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say minivan. I think I'd take the
they
minivan.
didn't have minivans then.
Did it have the seats in the back?
That face the other way.
That faced the death seats.
Yep.
I remember my Uncle Mario had those, and me and my cousin Matt, we'd be in the back never thinking anything of it. I never thought of, what else if we get rear-ended? My face would be gone.
Well, that and the carbon monoxide you get in the back window.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there was all kinds of
back
stuff.
then it didn't matter because everybody smoked. So, I mean, you basically secondhand smoked in the car.
Yep.
How about you, Dimitri?
Mark, I have to respectfully decline to answer that question because what was your first car is a very common security question on online accounts.
Oh, my God.
Credit cards, my bank accounts.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Black helicopters. Did you bring the tin foil?
I forgot the foil today.
Oh,
listen,
goodness.
Take a look at your accounts. What was the name of your first pet? What street did you grow up on? What was your first car?
You actually answer those questions
they're
correctly. Correctly, though?
Yeah, because
you can generally pick from a list
your own
of
question.
They're your question. You just answer them any way you want.
Lord.
But then I'll forget.
Where were you born?
I
put Mars.
But then I'll forget
things like that.
if I ever have to recover.
What's your
my
home
account.
address?
Yeah, that's another question.
I'm appalled that you won't say on car day what your first car was.
For reasons stated.
Oh my goodness! Can we get a psychologist
What was the reason?
on? Because he's afraid people are going to hack into everything. Because one of his security questions for like bank accounts and everything is, what was your first car?
Not just my security questions. It's probably the most common of all security questions. So take a look at what you filled out on your online access.
God.
So all of you guys just gave up probably the first security question on your credit cards, bank accounts, etc.
Guarantee I didn't, because they have an option on there where you can create your own security question, and I just write my own stuff in.
Like what?
Like
He's like transmissions. Hold on. It would have been so funny if he called you on that one. Well, it's my birthday.
When was my first date with Tiffany?
Chopper, the KGB's listening.
Oh, shoot. I got commercials. RedRocksRS.com. Anything solar. Need a new system, commercial, residential, Red Rocks Solar. If you need something repaired on your system, Red Rocks Roof and Solar. If you want to get a commercial system and get it for the best price, in fact, sometimes paid 100% with grants federally and state, RedRocksRS.com. Brooke and the gang run it. She has everybody under her. In other words, the salespeople are hers, the repair people are hers, the installation people are hers. She's up on the roof half the time we call her to be an expert. Please, anything solar, RedRocksRS.com.
Yeah, actually, talking about those Mustangs, Mark, for a while there, the Groove Ford, which is now AutoNation Ford, they had so many of those electric Mustangs on the lot, they couldn't give the damn things away. Nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
So everybody wanted the gas option. But if you look at the back, even the tail lights are different. It looks like more of a standard Mustang tail light on the gas version. If you can imagine it, because I can't not see it. On the electric version, it looks like a little kid tried to draw an elephant and left a leg off. It looks like this three-legged elephant.
I wonder why they did that.
It's recognizable from the rear, but I hate that taillight.
Martino always says this on this. Oh, looking forward to getting out of Dodge.
It's going to be a beautiful drive, man.
Oh, I love that drive.
On a day like this.
Yeah.
Super
You need a
sunny.
convertible on a day like today.
Yeah, with my parents, that would, yeah.
Well, that way you can force feed your dad air.
That's true. Hook up a supercharger to him. I am going to buy some of that for him. I was shocked. I never thought, she's been up there for 3 years, I never thought there was that big of a difference between here and there.
Denver sits in a hole.
Yeah, but I'm talking even Castle Rock or Franktown. I'm at 60, I want to say I'm at 63 or 64. I'm a hair higher than Denver, not much. And I think Castle Rock is too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're at 72 or 74, I forget.
They used to divert all of the bomb threats on airplanes to the Colorado Springs airport.
Why?
Because most of them were set, because they want to get all that terror aspect to it, so they were set to go off at a particular altitude. And the Colorado Springs airport was sat high enough they wouldn't go off.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cool.
Just another piece of trivia nobody needed to know.
That's pretty
No,
cool.
that's pretty interesting.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, I was too young, but I remember, like, what was the Ireland ones that would plant bombs and hijack planes? That shit went on that shit went on all the time, man. They'd take over an entire plane, they'd land somewhere, they'd get money, fly off. I mean, the whole shit was wacko back then.
Yeah, I'm part English and part Irish, so, you know, I'd like to get drunk and blow up my own car.
That's why 9/11 was such a surprise. I mean, everybody thought that, you know, hijackers would land the plane somewhere, demand a ransom, whatever. Nobody except these crazy, jihadists thought about flying into a building.
Yeah, who would have thought all these people you just talk into suicide like that? Mm-hmm. Well, we should have known. Japan. We prefer to blow people up, not including ourselves, which is good. Right. You know, back in the day, we had Scud missiles to do that shit.
Oh, man.
Now we've got drones. Now we got all kinds of cool shit.
Have you ever seen any of the YouTube videos on what's going on in Ukraine?
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. This is interesting. We were talking about, because of the convertible, I brought up least reliable car models. And these are new ones. These are 2025 least. And this is Consumer Reports, so don't cheat. But what do you think the least... well, there's a bunch of them, but what do you think? Name one you think.
Range Rover.
Range Rover is not on Land Rover. Is that a Range Rover?
Yeah.
Or is that a Toyota?
Land Rover would be, no, that Range Rover.
What is a Toyota that sounds something like that?
Land Cruiser.
Oh, a Land Cruiser. Do they still make those? Those were popular as
Yeah,
hell.
they just came back this year.
Very cool. Yep, Land Rovers absolutely is on there. Mini Cooper.
Ugh.
But here's the number one for 2025. It's somewhat surprising. Well, it just says least reliable car models. Ford F-150 hybrid. And basically it's saying, I'm trying to find the entire article. Hold on here. Here it is. Subaru. How brands stack up. Brands are ranked average, predictable, reliability based on CR members. So the Ford one, what they're saying is wrong with it, which is interesting. They're saying owners say there's a lot of problems with the battery in the hybrid system. low reliability. And then they also say Jeep Wrangler. I always thought Jeeps were pretty strong. No, you guys see a lot of problems?
Well, we've been seeing a lot of the Jeep products with the clutches. They've actually got recalls on them because they overheat.
Jeep Grand Cherokee is another one. Nissan Frontier, what are your thoughts on that one, Jeff?
Just about anything in the Nissan line right now, I don't consider reliable.
Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
How about Volkswagen Jetta?
You're pronouncing it Volkswagen. It's pronounced Beastwalken. Because that's all they do is they beat walking.
Now, this thing says the top reliability. What do you think number one is? Predicted reliability, numero uno.
Toyota.
Number three would be Toyota.
Honda.
Which this isn't fair because number two, I'll tell you right now, is Lexus. Same company. But okay, whatever. What do you think number one is?
Honda.
Nope. Actually, Honda's number four. Come on, you guys are forgetting the ones. Generally, they're women drivers or...
Subaru.
There you got that one.
Well, because I had a Subaru for ages.
Yeah, I know.
So he goes from a Miata to a Subaru. So
before I would drive into Subaru, I'd take my pants off and put on a skirt.
Honda Acura. I think Honda did something really smart when they took Toyota and Honda's model of having their normal and their upper scale car when they created Genesis. Very smart to do. And then least on here is Rivian. Rivian's an electric car. Let me see where Tesla is. Tesla's number 17, and Rivian's number 22, which is where they end it. Cadillac's 21. GMC is actually 20. That's pretty crazy. Hyundai's 10. Kia is 9, which is crazy because Hyundai and Kia are virtually the same cars. Mazda is pretty high up there. You know, what's funny is all the Japanese stuff. All the Japanese stuff, the first thing other than Japanese is Audi at number 7. That's German, right?
Correct.
BMW, German. And then Kia and Hyundai are 9 and 10. I'm sorry, Kia and Hyundai are next to each other. And that's pretty remarkable. What's the one car you don't want to ever work on? Saab? Like, what do you turn away?
Last time I even got a call on a Saab.
They haven't been around anymore.
Well, they've got them around, but
didn't Ford buy them?
Saab stories for a reason.
No, Ford bought Jaguar.
Jaguar, that's right. Yeah. So, do they still make Jaguars?
Yeah.
And they're made by Ford?
No, they're independent again.
Oh, they're independent again.
Yeah, they're not associated with Ford.
Chrysler used to do that. Chrysler was owned by Mercedes at one point. Yep. And then, what was the other big company that owned them? It was like a bank or something.
Oh, they were currently owned by Fiat.
What'd you say, Kelly?
Daimler Chrysler. Yeah, that's Mercedes and then Fiat.
Fiat, jeez, Fiat. Who made the midget? Was that a Fiat?
The midget?
Yeah, the little midget car, little teeny convertible.
MG.
Oh, MG midget. That's right. What's the Fiat? Oh, the Fiat is a tiny little thing.
Like the 500 and different ones like that.
Yeah, back in the day, those were everywhere in Italy. I mean, the
Mini Coopers. I mean, that
it was like size of a moped but it was a car
with 4 wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Fiat's actually the little model they have. I don't know about the reliability, but it looks pretty cool.
Hey, Rick, what's your comment on cars?
The convertibles, I was living in El Paso, Texas. I was in the Army, and they always had dust on the floor.
Yeah? That would make sense. I bet if it was snowing, they had snow on the floor, huh?
Well, it never snowed in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, good point. Actually, it is kind of funny. Why would you? Anywhere where there's a lot of dust and stuff. I mean, think of Oklahoma. Actually, I lived there for a while. I don't really remember seeing convertibles there. Did you ever own a convertible, Rick?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I owned a 63. I was a soldier, so I was poor folk, but my first one was a 63 Ford, Mustang, sorry.
Nice.
But my first car was a 67 Chevy Impala.
What do you drive now?
I paid $100 for it.
Oh, man. That's before Biden.
Yeah.
What do you drive now?
2076.
What do you drive now?
a Dodge Caravan. Now we buy vans.
Why? Why do you buy vans now?
So we don't have to squat to get in them.
Oh, I gotcha. How old are you, Rick?
Older people. 69.
And how many cars would you guess you've had in your lifetime?
I didn't pay more than $1,000 for them, and I had maybe 20.
What was your favorite out of all of them?
I think I like the Jeeps. The Jeep Caravan. We had 2 or 3 of them. We loved them.
All right.
We could go up in the mountains with them.
Well, very cool, Rick. I appreciate your comment on that, man. You have a good weekend, all right, brother?
Hey, you too.
Thank you, sir. 303-713-8255. Confucius. What do you have to say, Confucius?
Oh, hello.
Hello, sir.
I think your life will be on this soon. I have to do with Ballerina. I work down there.
You work at Ballerina?
I have to do. Yes.
What do you do at Ballerina?
I work in the concessions.
Did the Nuggets play there last night? They did.
Yeah.
Was it badass?
Yes, they did.
Were you there last night? Was it insane?
Yes, it was. It got to be pretty wild and stuff.
I bet it was. So you work concessions there. What is your comment on them?
Well, basically, what they did is it has to do with the not giving out unless the people ask for either a lid or a straw for their drinks.
Yeah.
They have to ask first. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we don't give them out.
Hold on, that is curious. I got to take this break. I'm trying to think if I own like a convenience store. I mean, I'm trying to think of something similar. I mean, I could see how it could save money. I'm curious, though, why it bothers Confucius. Hold on. Confucius.
Freaking Tesla. It just will not stop, does it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Where's it at today?
Almost 350.
Yeah. It's always going to be, you can't think of just car sales. That's where people get so confused.
But when I was watching it get destroyed, I was just waiting to pull the trigger. I'm thinking 200. I think it got down to 220.
I bought so much at like 110.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it's at 110. I probably own I did mess up. I probably own over $100,000 of it at about 390. But I think it's $1,000. Denver Regen, these guys helped me lose a lot of weight. Listen, if you have that last 20 pounds, that last 30, or maybe you have 150, 200 pounds to lose, these new medications that you've heard about, everybody has, are incredible. You do not think of food. You feel full. You're comfortable. It doesn't affect your life. It's really a cool way to diet. You should still diet and exercise, of course, but here's the main thing, too. Denver Regen's the place to get it. I have been getting it from them since January 3rd. I love it. You get to talk to the doctor whenever you want. It includes the initial visits, and there's no long-term agreement whatsoever. It's $300 a month, but right now in May, the very first month is half off. You're not going to get a better deal. Half off than only $300 or $295 a month. Check them out at denverregen.com. Ask the questions. You're going to be happy if you want to lose that weight. You've been putting it off. Do it now so you can start at half price. denverregen.com. Vestera Investments teamed up with Team Martino, and you know what they do? They find great upcoming areas in the country. They buy a house. They pick out that house. You purchase it. You own it. As it appreciates, you sell it. You put the big bucks. They have people making over 50% profit. You just got to check them out. You can learn all about it at VesteraTurnkey.com. Where do you think this guy's going with straws?
Oh, I know where he's going. I know exactly where he's going.
Yeah. Don't they? Actually, I like those When you buy a beer there now, they come in like
the metal cup.
The metal cup, and it's cold as shit.
Yep.
I love those.
Yep.
Recycled.
So metal conducts heat from your hand into that beer.
Yeah. But when there's ice in the drink, I'm telling you, man, it's like a cooler.
It's the opposite of a cooler. So,
boy, he just wants to irritate me on everything.
No, aluminum.
So you're telling me if I put a piece of chicken in there raw and I hold it, I will have a cooked piece of chicken by the end of the game.
By the end of the year. But my point is, metals conduct thermal energy.
Sure they do.
They are the opposite of insulators.
Then how come all these
it feels cold? It's not actually. It's in your mind.
You guys are all crazy. All of you. Every one of you.
By the way, I know exactly
I
what
do like the aluminum cups, though. Yes.
I have a great answer for it.
Okay.
Sea turtles.
I love sea turtles.
Well, that's why you can't have
some
straws.
of the best turtle soup I've ever had.
Oh, God.
You know what really tastes good? Seriously, you ever had a deep-fried squirrel?
Uh-huh.
I love deep-fried squirrel. How many does it take to make, like, you know, a full dinner, like Thanksgiving dinner for 8? Like, how many squirrels?
I don't know about 100, but...
I think squirrels in general are probably the biggest nuisance on Earth.
Pretty damn close.
I mean, they're like, if you look at them really, they're evil. They're just pure evil. He loves squirrels.
I can't hear anything.
Secret squirrel over here.
He loves squirrels, and Kelly literally feeds squirrels out front. Bags of nuts. Yeah, I know. That's what I say.
I feed them with my airsoft.
See, airsoft doesn't kill them. It just irritates them. Damn it. Ow, ow. Makes them dance.
They keep eating the tulip bulbs.
I hate that.
They dig up the plants and dig up the bulbs and stuff.
I used to blast rabbits, man. We had so many rabbits, they'd eat our roses, they'd eat everything you put out.
We had several years ago when we had some big snows, we're having problems with rabbits at the shop because they were getting inside the
They're vermins.
Well, they normally left the cars alone, but since they couldn't get to normal food, they were getting in and eating up the freaking wiring.
Yeah, they're destroying
and one of my
stuff.
techs was sat out there one day on the tailgate of his pickup with an air gun, and he ended up taking home like I think 18 or 19 that day.
They're a nuisance, man. We don't have rabbits out where we are now. I don't know why. You would think so. They're probably so low on the pole. They can't climb trees, so they get eaten, so they're gone.
Foxes get them.
Well, and the owls.
Hawks and owls are brutal on them, yeah.
Owls are insane, man. They'll pick them up. They'll bring them up. An owl will pick up its prey and then drop it to kill it and then go eat it.
If they kill it.
Well,
sometimes they'll start eating them alive on the ground.
Oh, my God.
They usually put them up in the trees to eat them. Because we got a light pole by the driveway. And when they catch a rabbit, you'll find the skull.
Owls are squirrels' best friends.
I've chased away a lot of hawks and...
Hawks are brutal.
I've chased away a ton of hawks from squirrels.
When we go to the Wisconsin, we haven't been there in a while, these eagles, I've literally seen them swoop down into the lake and come up with fish and take off. Sometimes the fish are too heavy, and they'll use their wings to go across
to
swim over and eat it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Ospreys, eagles don't do it. But ospreys,
303-713-8255. I've got to hear this. So Confucius works at Ball Arena. Am I the only one that always thinks of it as Pepsi Center? I know that's not right. If I owned a company and basically was spending all the money, but God, it'll always be Pepsi Center to me. But go ahead, Confucius. You work there. You work in concessions. And I never thought of this before. When you buy like a soda pop and you get it, they just hand you it and they won't give you a straw or a lid unless you ask for it. I'm sure that's because they're trying to save money or they're trying to save the earth.
No.
But, well, let's see what that's... I'm just guessing. Go ahead.
That's what it is. They're trying to save, I think, basically the earth.
You know what, Confucius, I get you. But I want to say something. Then we're going to bring in a recycler to this. But... actually, before I talk, I want you to continue. Go ahead. So that's why they do it, but what's your problem with it?
Oh, I have nothing to do with it. I just give it to them no matter what.
Yeah, but why are you calling about it? It must irritate you.
Well, they're just coming down on. They're also trying to save product, and the ballerina is saying there's too much trash around there and too much litter and stuff. And
so they're saying it's overhead. So they're really not doing it because it's green, right?
I think they're doing it just because they're just holding back on both, or just doing, recycling for themselves and the same.
I think. Listen,
it has to do with it has to do with them trying to recycle and all that stuff.
But you don't. But I'm still trying to get to why you're calling about it, though. It drives you nuts that you just can't put a lid and a straw in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the employees think it's kind of crazy that.
It is crazy. Then if some nut next to me spills it on me, I'm not happy. I know. I promise, D, I'm going to give you so much. He is so perched, it's crazy.
No, I'm not.
But I want to say this about it. I think it's purely to save money. It's less straws, less lids. Granted, that's not a lot of money. I don't think it has anything to do with being green, although I think Ballerina would tell you that. They are doing it for the environment. I relate it to this. These hotels you go to. We just went to one in Nashville. Virgin Hotel. Beautiful hotel. But unless you tell them you want your bed made every day and new towels every day, they won't do it because it's not good for the earth. They won't change your linens out because it's not good for the earth. I call BS on it. They do it to save money. It's got nothing to do with being green. My God, that guy owns an airline. There's nothing not green compared to Virgin Airlines, but yet his damn hotels, they want to change out your towels every 3 days. Oh, man, that'd be scary. People steal. What hotel did you work at? Adams, Mark. Is that a nice hotel? I've never heard of it.
That's a nice hotel downtown,
So it ain't
isn't
Motel 6. See, but see, here's what I'd say. Who the hell steals towels, Kelly? Have you ever stolen a towel? Oh, my God. Have you guys literally ever stolen who the hell wants a hotel towel? Now, you go to the Waldorf, some nice towels, but you're not going to steal a towel. Who the hell's going to steal a towel? Beautiful towels. Best Western. You imagine stealing a Motel 6 washcloth? Let me tell you, if you're at the point in your life where you steal a Motel 6 washcloth, you are one step away from being homeless. Yep. Confucius,
to wash your car.
I'm going to put you on hold. Now, I want to ask Dimitri two things, and here's why. You're in the recycling business.
Yes, I am.
So, number one, I don't understand this. Ballerina. Hey, I'm sorry. I thought he was flashing me, and I got a break. Ballerina now uses those metal cups. I love them. And I think they keep things colder. And I'll let you do that. But the second thing is, what do you think of the metal cups there, just being a recycler? I know you primarily do cardboard, but you know the whole game. You know the whole game. And then what do you think about what he's saying when it comes to the lid and straws? Just spill it.
Well, Mark, if I understand it correctly, Confucius say, if man wants straw, he must ask for it.
Yes, and lid.
And lid. Now, it turns out that it's not Ballerina maximizing their profit on concessions sales. There's a Denver city ordinance that went in effect in January of 22.
Of course there was.
And they address single-use items in the context of food service.
Yeah, but only in what?
In ketchup packets.
No, but I'm saying, hold on, Dimitri, I don't understand. They must have carved out everything in the world because if I go to McDonald's, the lids are right there. If I go to 7-Eleven, the lids are right there. The straws are right there.
Here's why they're right there. If the vendor provides you with a lid or a ketchup packet or a straw or a napkin, they have to wait for you to ask for that. In Denver, they're not allowed to provide single-use items by ordinance unless the customer asks.
I don't understand what you're saying. If I go to a McDonald's in Denver, I have to ask for a lid going through the drive-thru for a soda?
Yes, unless
There's
they're violating,
no way.
unless they violate the ordinance, which I suspect almost everybody does. but it's a single-use item, and they're required to wait for you to ask for it.
There is no way if I go through a drive-through. Now, first of all, there's no way, Dimitri, there's no way this can be correct.
Listen to this. I'm reading directly from the City of Denver website.
They must have carved out every drive-through.
All retail food establishments to provide single-use condiments and single-use serviceware only upon request by a customer.
So wait a minute. I go through, what's one of the fast food Chinese places that's got a drive-through? Give me something here, guys. Panda Express. And I order the chop suey. They're going to hand me. Oh, it's not.
No, you're thinking of Mugu Gai Pan or something.
Whatever.
Chop suey is like macaroni and meat sauce.
Just whatever. I order whatever it is.
And you're not going to get it because you ordered chop suey.
They're not going to give me silverware. And I order a Coke. They're going to hand me a Coke with no lid, no straw, just a Coke. They're going to hand me Chinese food, whatever it is. Let's say beef with broccoli. So my beef with broccoli doesn't come with utensils because I got to ask for utensils and a napkin.
Well, you asked two questions, actually. Will they do it, or are they allowed to do it?
No, is there anyone in the world? Because if I open my bag up and there was no way for me to eat,
you're going to go ballistic. Somebody's going to be wearing that chop suey.
I think you're taking.
If they give you that stuff,
you're
they're violating
taking whatever you're reading wrongly. You're taking it wrongly. Hold on.
Let's get the city on the phone.
Jim, you're up next. You're taking it wrongly.
Did anybody get my Confucius say, Joe?
I loved it.
I've got a Confucius meme.
I love Fridays. Confucius say. You know, what other show gets a call from a guy that works at Ball Arena?
Named Confucius.
I know. I don't want to be skeptical, but I somehow don't think that's his real name.
Yeah, he doesn't want his bosses to know. I never said all that shit. Okay, hold on. Two great attorneys I want to tell you about. Two, you need to write the phone numbers down in case you need them. Number one, Joseph A. Lazara, criminal defense attorney. He's one of the best. He helps out listeners all the time. He's on the show all the time. DUI, shoplifting, assault, maybe anything, man. You name it, this guy has done it. Murder, domestic violence, rape. If you have been accused of a crime, you call Joseph A. Lazara. Two things. One, you're guilty. He's going to get you the best deal possible. He knows the judges, knows the DA. Two, you're innocent. He can get in front of a jury of your peers and fight for you. Put this number in the phone, 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Then the second one, John Fuller. I've personally used John 2 times. He's a personal injury attorney. You have nothing to lose if you've been into an accident by calling John. He can walk you through all the different scenarios of your case. And if you're injured, he can maximize all the money you're going to get. Not only can he get maximum benefits like he did for Suzanne and I, but he can also negotiate with that chiropractor and that ambulance company to get the bills down at the end, pay them less, and put more in your pocket. And you're always going to deal with John. John Fuller, put it in your phone, 303-597-4500. I love John, 303-597-4500.
I never said all that shit.
Hey, Tommy boy, I know he's listening because of the time. Listen, I'm going to try to leave you with full lines, brother.
You know, we finally got it. LKQ finally shipped that motor for that guy.
Great.
So,
great.
I'm just getting here. I'm just getting ready.
Hey, Deputy Bo, he's got a follow-up.
What's that?
Hold on.
LKQ's been.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Hey, Bo, call back in. I just got full. I want you to call back in because Tom's taking over the show, and I want to fill that line up for him. But call back in, either if you think, of course, if it's slow, but call back in regardless, somewhere towards the beginning of the of 1 o'clock, if you can, brother.
Okay.
Rock and roll. Love you. Bye. Confucius say, I never said all that.
Shit.
Jeff, are you still fighting with your phone to
find it? Yeah, because it comes up in a different order. I tried to go right out of the gallery and it wouldn't let me put you in.
That's annoying.
Let's see what we have here.
I'll find it on the internet, Jeff.
I hate that when I'm looking for something in my phone and I can't remember how I...
Mark, how long a drive is it up to Laramie?
Just like, and then
From here, probably 2.5.
That's not too bad.
We'll stop at Buc-ee's, though. I always stop at Buc-ee's.
I do that all the time.
My parents have never been in a Buc-ee's.
Oh, really?
Make any sense now or something? Yeah.
Yeah, really, unless you're from Texas or some areas, there's not a lot of Buc-ee's. Up until this one, there wasn't one for a long ways.
I never even heard of it.
Now we're finally getting Whataburgers back.
Yeah, those were huge back in the day. I remember Jack in the Box when I first moved here in 93 or 94. They had that salmonella breakout, and they all closed.
I crushed
Kid
them.
died.
Yeah, I know. And they all closed.
Yep.
And then they all came back like around 2005, 6.
Yep. But that hurts all restaurants. Remember, Chipotle went through something.
Oh, they had a
where
bunch
they had
of these
some
E.
tainted
coli.
something. Yeah.
They have a lot of E. coli cases.
Is McDonald's still on?
Is McDonald's what?
Still on Chipotle?
I don't think so.
I think
did
they
it?
got spun off. And the reason I
didn't know they ever
is,
did. Yeah.
There's a really famous...
Well, the guys that originally started Chipotle sold it to McDonald's.
Mhm.
A portion of it.
Correct.
McDonald's was foolish enough not to have put a non-compete in there, so they started Qdoba.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had no idea.
I didn't know they were associated anyway. Yeah.
I will be.
What's your first name? And what is your question for Mark? What is your first name? What is your question for Mark? All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Listen, Tommy Boy coming up at noon. Get your calls in. I want them to have full lines. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. 303-713-8255. Call right now, 303 Martino. 303 Martino. I always say this. Don't forget help at troubleshooter.com. That is a great email. In any of these ways, we'll reach back out to you. Sometimes I call people over the weekend, honestly. Other times we check the voicemail within 24 hours, call you back. But we're here to help to the tune of over $300 million. Cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds. And I think we're pretty much done with Confucius. Confucius, did you have anything else you wanted to say, or are you good, brother?
Well, I want to say that I believe that maybe some of the customers also want lids because you never know what somebody else could drop in the cup.
Yeah, we were in Nashville, Confucius. I was in Nashville for a Metallica concert with some listeners and friends. There was like 14 of us, and we went to Kid Rock's bar there, which is like 4 stories. And we're all pretty sure one of the gals got roofied. Now, she was with the group the whole time, but she wasn't drinking much. She couldn't, basically she couldn't walk. It was pretty scary stuff, honestly. She was fine, and she didn't have like a hangover in the morning, none of the signs of drinking too much. And you're absolutely right, man. If that's an open cup, people can throw a little pill or a little thing in there, and it dissolves, and you have no idea. Good point, man. Good point, Confucius. Hey, is it true you really said all those quotes we read?
I thought that was worth it. Excuse me? Oh.
Is it true you always Yeah, you are the one that said all those quotes we read. Confucius say. Is that you?
Well, I just kind of threw that name in,
Oh, okay. Hey, you have a good day, man. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work there, too. I will say the concessions there, you guys do move people through the line pretty good. And you get to actually check the game out, too, right?
Yeah, well, somewhat. We're not allowed to inside the ball, and it's not inside the arena itself anymore. They cut that out.
Oh, that sucks. You can't walk in there and peek?
Not like we used to.
Oh, man. Hey, man, I really do I do appreciate it. I got to free you up there. 303-713-8255. 2 lines. I want them full. 303 Martino. You've been ripped off. The big dog's about to step in and go after the bad guys. Hey, Greg, what is going on with this supercharger?
Hi, I just had a general question. The guys have said that turbochargers reduce the lifespan of an engine, and I was wondering if superchargers are as bad as turbochargers.
Guys, and then didn't one of you tell me last week or the week before there's a car now that starts off with the supercharger and it has a turbo?
Land Rover.
The Land Rover.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's an electric supercharger that kicks out when the turbo kicks in.
So explain the wear and tear on engines. Does it matter? Go ahead.
I think it does. They both do the same thing, where it's just over performance of an engine that's not designed to do what it's doing. So does it work? Yes, but it's like a race car. They tear those down and rebuild them after every.
A lot of these. What does the supercharger do? Could you tell us that?
It compresses air and just a fatter mixture, if you will. It's just more dense.
They're generally belt driven, right? Or they're driven.
They're driven.
Traditional ones are belt driven, yeah. The supercharger, gives you power off the line.
Yeah, so, and then the turbo when you're moving.
Exactly.
Because the turbo, they really do the exact same thing. They shove more air into the engine. Mm-hmm. But when you're just sitting there, a turbo's going to do nothing because there's no air coming out.
There's no air coming because you use the exhaust to do it.
So Land Rover, that's pretty cool.
Yep. I couldn't imagine wanting to work on one of those, though.
No, I could. It's just another thing to break, but it's got to be. It's got to be pretty cool.
Yep.
The other thing, Greg, is my RX-8. I'm going to give you a perfect example of where I wish I had a supercharger. That thing could get up to 150 plus. Mm-hmm. The top end was great, but the bottom end going off, man, that little wankle you could rev up, but man, it's not a fast car off the bat. That thing could go forever. In fact, if there wasn't a governor on it, I'm not sure you could break that thing. How about these diesels, though? I think without a turbocharger or a supercharger, these things wouldn't even move.
No, you need them.
So for a diesel, you have to have one.
Yes, but that's designed for it.
No, I get it.
Yeah, these I think they're putting on engines that are really not designed.
Greg, you got
how
any?
You drive it.
You got any questions?
No. Well, it's just at altitude you lose 10% of your power. With a regularly aspirated engine. That's why I was asking the question.
He brings something up, too. When I was shopping for a little enduro motorcycle, I bought a little 250, I think a Suzuki. I forget what brand I bought. But they had 2 different ones at the time. One of them had a carburetor. This is only a few years ago. And then the other one was fuel injection. And the guy up at Fay Myers was like, no, you definitely want the fuel injection if you're going up into the mountains a lot. Yep. He says we can tune the carb for down here, but when you go up into the mountains or when you go down to sea level, you're going to have problems where the fuel injection does it automatically. Yep. Listen, Big Dog Martino coming up. One line open. Get in now. 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. I'll be back Monday. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Mark, I have a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm working with this guy. Remember yesterday he couldn't get a title for his car? After 6 months?
Oh, yeah.
Is there an actual statute on when a dealer has to provide?
Yes, bring that up. Bring it up with Tom. There is, and what it is the problem is the statute reads...
ambiguous.
It's very ambiguous. It says it has to be basically timely.
Timely manner, yeah.
And 6 months now. During COVID, you could argue that. Right. But right now, there's no reason to argue it. My guess is those guys don't have a title.
Okay. Yeah, I tried calling him this morning, and he wasn't in yet. So I'll call the dealer after 1.
Damn, I had 3. Okay, there they are. Now they're ringing like crazy, and of course I bet Kevin's not in there.
Oh, she's right there.
Troubleshooter Show, what's your first name? Linda, and what is your question for Tommy? I'm doing good. What's your question? Sure. Yeah, but what... Yeah, I let them do all that, but what is like the basic question so Tom can help you? Yeah. Yeah. That's a great question. It's basically asset protection. Hold on. Hey, what's your first name? Oh, Rick, I'm sorry. I picked up the wrong line. Hold on. I see Kelly got you. Hey, what's your first name? Oh, excellent, excellent. Hold on, Rick. Hold on. We've got some great questions for you. Hold on. It's actually a sales call. Guy trying to sell us insurance. That's great. Tom should have fun with it. He really should. Question one. What the hell's Kelly doing?
Did you see what JR put on there about Confucius?
I don't know how I
Just
deleted
say
it.
baseball wrong. Men with 4 balls can't walk.
Hey, girl.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm just filling these up.
Hey, Suze.
Is this from Kel?
Yep.
I think it's from Caplis and Kelly. I'm not quite sure.
Sweet.
Go ask her.
Okay, I'll ask her in a second.
And I'll remind you in
I don't
case
know why
Mark
this
forgets to
changed.
stop for air.
You ever
What's
seen
that?
when it does that?
I'll remind you in case he forgets to stop for air.
I don't know why this is.
Did you guys talk about first cars?
Kelly, are you fucking with this every time I type in?
Shannon says yes.
Okay.
See, look at this one. And this one says for Rick, he's got a fuel additive question.
It said that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now it's mini.
Is Tommy on? Have you heard him?
Hasn't said anything.
I see him on the camera.
You do.
Okay, good.
Unless that's a
good sign.
All right, D, move
Is
over.
that live?
Where? Over there?
Right there, yeah.
Okay.
And then let me kill. You just bring your laptop over. Sign out.
Pizza's here to whoever's listening.
Suze, have a great
Okay.
weekend. Yeah, congratulations.
Pizza.
Oh, thank you.
Pizza's here.
Pizza's here.
Pizza's here.
All right, guys.
All right. Don't forget to stop
Bye,
for air,
Mark.
Mark.
See you Monday.
Don't forget to
Thanks,
stop for
guys.
air.
Nope.
What?
Don't forget to stop for air.
Yeah, I will, actually.
What does that mean?
Wait, Tom's going to host his own show?
Oh, shit. So you got to get a
We'll get some of those
container.
boost. No, just get some of those boost containers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
How you doing?
All right, buddy. So? Yeah, I'll check out.
Yep. Check all 3 boxes.
Make sure you close them.
FrontRangeHomes.com. Mark Szymanski, really concerned about it.
Do I care? Nope.
I don't know. I don't order.
Kelly got the cheeseburger pizza for everybody. Woohoo!
I did not. Just so you all know.
I think we'll have
Oh, yeah, for sure. He likes the meatballs. Well, I try to, because they don't really have one, so you gotta kind of gerrymander it.
sheriff intros at the beginning of those taxpayer relief shots. Yeah. The one sheriff that, that was more than welcome to shoot him in this county.
Oh, God, he's great.
We have the other one where they're looking for the guy who shot someone, home intruder, who's been evading police. He wants to let them know that you haven't done anything wrong, you're not in trouble, obviously self-defense, because he actually wounded the guy. Okay. And what we'd like to do is come down to the sheriff's office. We'd like to introduce you to our course, so hopefully you can become more proficient.
Oh, better shot. Yeah, I think I heard that was it. Yeah, so you can get a better shot. Yes.
You didn't kill him the first time.
We want to make sure we save on paperwork next time, so kill him. Yes.
We'd like you to become more proficient.
Ten seconds here, guys.
Nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So happy to be with you. I thank God I'm with you. And as many of you know that, I came out of cancer surgery April 28th, pancreatic cancer. And in a very rare turn of events for pancreatic cancer, I'm one of the 3%ers, cancer-free, 100% follow-up visit yesterday confirmed that. All came out negative. Surrounding areas, what they call, Deputy Doc asked me about the pathology. Even though they do pathology during surgery, they send it away to another lab to confirm the findings. And Deputy Doc, you had asked about that, and they came back 100% cancer-free. So that's amazing.
Could not have heard better news.
I thank God for that. I mean, this is, thank you. This is a big deal for me. And man, am I happy to be here. This is my life. I love doing this. And so thank you. And as I say, I don't want to belabor each show, but I just want to acknowledge the well-wishers. I've gotten tons and tons of texts and emails, and I really appreciate it. And I'm healing fine. I mean, I'm doing great. It's the most invasive surgery known to man, called the Whipple procedure. So, 25% of my stomach's gone, 20% of my pancreas. I'm not diabetic. The part of the pancreas they took had nothing to do with the insulin-making cells. So I escaped that too. And it looks like, aside from some follow-up radiation and chemo, then I'll be back to my normal routines. But that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks or next few months. But as I said, look, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. My heart goes out to all of those people, all of you who have diagnoses. If you ever want support and want to know what's going on, I'm serious. Give me a call or email me, help@troubleshooter.com. If you just got a diagnosis, or if you're facing chemo, any non-medical questions, I can tell you what it's like to go through some of the things that work to make me feel better. And I'd love to help you. Help@troubleshooter.com. And I will call you, I promise you. You can text me also. at 747-999-5280, and that comes right to my cell phone, 747-999-5280. Let's go to the phone. Today's Car Day. Kevin Kalk and Jeff Vick here in the house, Deputy D, Deputy Doc, and we're trying to solve your problem. So up next, let's talk to Abe. Go ahead, Abe. What's going on?
It fell off.
Oh, he fell off? Okay. Hope he didn't get hurt.
Yep.
Linda, what's happening with you, Linda?
Yes, sir. Tom, congratulations, by the way. My family is thrilled that you're doing so well. God bless you.
Thank you.
Very quickly, I have to thank you, sir. I've saved a little bit of money back. When I pass, I would have passed it on to my family. I would like to know what I should do now while I'm still on the earth to protect it so they won't have to pay taxes or be hit with whatever could come legally.
Okay, Linda, first of all, how old are you?
74, sir.
74, okay. And what about the money? How much do you have in total assets and cash and everything to the positive?
Yes, sir. It's about 400,000.
Okay. Now, let me give you some good news. They won't have to pay taxes on any of it. You can leave millions and millions of dollars without any estate tax. It's called an exclusion, and you're well under it. And likely you're not going to reach, I believe it's now 16 million. Here's the bottom line. You have nothing to do except protect that $400K. What form is that $400,000 taking? Is it cash, property? Tell me about the $400K. Break it down.
Sure. It's in a managed account, sir, by Fidelity.
Okay. Now, one thing I do want to tell you, and I want to give you a disclosure. As you know, I have a wealth management company, and I do not want you ever to think I'm trying to steer you to my company. But I will tell you this: your account is not managed at Fidelity. It is there, and they tell you it's managed, but it's not. They don't know Linda from a hole in the wall. They don't know what you want, what your goals are, what your long term. Did they ever consult with you on anything?
Well, twice a year we have a meeting, sir.
Right.
My husband passed, so it's just myself now.
No, that's okay. Linda, I suggest that you get someone who personally takes care of your account for you, with you. Now, listen, again, I don't want to brag, but I think we're one of the few firms that really do that. But if you can find someone who will take Linda, and they take Linda's account and say, okay, Linda needs some of this, she needs it, she wants it to go to her heirs, here's what she wants to do. These Fidelities and Edward Jones and all these big firms, they don't manage money for people. People think they're managed. They are managed in giant portfolios, and they put you in a group of people that meet your criteria. I'm not telling you they're bad. They're not bad. They just don't give you that personal level of service. So if I were you and I had $400,000, how much of that is in home equity?
None.
Okay. So that $400K is liquid, and you have it managed right now. I think you really do have to have it managed. And what I would suggest for you right now at 74 is you want to be a bit more conservative. Not totally, but you have time to let that grow. And how are you doing for income yourself? Will you need this $400,000?
Great. No, I will not, sir. I'm still working, so. And Tom, Fidelity came through because I was a banker for 25 years, so I kind of squirreled away a little bit.
Okay. Now, what I suggest.
So, what is your company called?
Wave 8 Wealth Management. Now, here's what I want to tell you. What we would do with that $400,000, depending on your risk tolerance and your age, we would probably put it into some moderate ETF, exchange traded funds, which have which kind of follow a stock market index, but we would also probably get you some growth without a lot of risk. And then we would set up beneficiaries to bypass your estate to go to whatever heirs you want, and we would hook you up. See, we take care of the whole thing. But again, I'm not telling you you need us. I promise you, I don't want to ever turn the show into but what I'm saying is, no matter what, I'd love to see what Fidelity is doing for you, and who knows, it might be really good. I mean, are you getting growth every year?
Okay. Yes, but you know, there's always room for more growth.
Well, I'll tell you what, we would be happy to go over what you're doing. And again, it's not difficult in your situation. Yours is very simple. You have a lump of money you want to save, you want to preserve, and that's easy. That's really easy to do. We can get you good growth and save and principal protection. But the main part of your question about taxes, the good news is, Linda, you don't have to worry about any taxes on that. Do you have a will?
Okay. Of course, yes, sir.
Okay. And did you name your, when was the last time you checked your will and updated it?
Well, my husband died last year, Tom, so I had it redone just in my name, of course.
Excellent. So here's what you can do. If you want to have a free review of what's going on, and I promise you, you can call us and call 303-771-HELP.
Okay.
And we'll arrange a Zoom, and I'll get on with you, and we'll go over everything. 303-771-HELP.
Okay.
And that's 771-4357. And you have an easy situation, Linda. You did very well. By the way, before you invest money, do you have high interest debt?
No.
Good.
No.
Good.
Sure.
Because I tell people, before you invest anything, you want to make sure you have an emergency fund and that you don't have high interest debt. You're in good shape, Linda. Well, you say you're still working at 74. What are you doing?
Well, I'm working in the insurance. I'm learning the insurance industry.
Okay.
After 25 years in banking, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're pretty savvy.
Exciting.
So you're pretty savvy. It'll be fun to talk to you. We have more coming up, and thank you for calling me. Now, Rick, fuel additive. We'll get back to our car experts on that. You know, I have often wondered, do fuel additives work? And oil additives and all these other additives we hear about, do they work? When do you need them? And we're going to talk about that with Rick. And all of you, give us a call. We have lines open, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
You know, solar is viable. Solar is a great option. And we still have solar credits available, tax credits, 30%. But don't buy it just for the tax credits. Buy it for the peace of mind it gives you on freezing your utility bill. Red Rock's Roof and Solar can help you. They can walk you through the whole process. They have financing available. They do not only the sales, but the installation and the service. If you have a commercial operation, they even have grants available if you qualify that can pay for the whole thing. RedRocksRS.com, 303-704-2449. Now, you just heard an investment question on the show, and we get them all the time. There is one option I bring up to people when they want to get started, and I think it's one of the best ways to get started in investing, and it's called Become the Banker. It's really very simple. You have a life insurance policy, and you overfund the premium on purpose. But that money doesn't go to the insurance company. It goes into a cash fund that grows tax-free. You see, the government says when you have life insurance, you're allowed to overfund it and help with your own retirement, and it grows tax-free. Now, Joe Chiano and his team can teach you how to use that through your life to gain more money and to have a retirement fund. Find out more at becomethebanker.org. 303-779-6600.
Like anyway?
No, he has a show sheet.
Yeah.
Then, so depending on what the topic is, I try and pick a bumper music to go along with that topic.
Yeah.
So on air today, he says, I play a topical song, and he goes, that's a perfect song, but I'm not going to talk about the topic. And he does that quite often. So finally I said, you know what? Screw it. Every single song, every single bumper music for the rest of the show today will be Neil Young, to which he hates.
Oh, Neil Young.
Yeah, right. So he hates Neil Young.
What's that?
I do too, but...
So I told him, I was like, you know what? Even name that tune. It's going to be a Neil Young song. He's like, you wouldn't dare. I was like, you just watch me. So every single bumper music was Neil Young, and the name that tune was Neil Young.
I'm trying to, what was she looking to get? That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Theory.
Stop there.
Hi, Barry. It's Kelly over at the Tom Martino Show. Hey, sorry about missing your deal. It was a kind of crazy. So. No, that's good. So I've got you down here. What is the event?
Can I borrow your headphones for a second? I don't have an offline.
Okay.
I can't talk to Tom from over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm working with a guy who hasn't gotten a title on his car since December. Is there a law which defines how long he can wait before I call the dealer?
It says reasonable, the law.
Okay.
And now many times in past cases, people have defined that as 90 days. After that, it would be unreasonable.
Okay, this is 6 months. It's been since December. So he can undo the deal, basically, right?
Well, I think he can if he's not getting title, for sure.
Okay. I just want to make sure before I'm calling the dealer at 1 o'clock, so I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
And I'll let you know what happens. Thank you.
I would have told him no.
I tried to.
What did I do?
I said I would have told you no. I'm not sharing.
I mean, it's not like we exchange bodily fluids. It's just their headphones. You don't know where those were last week.
You don't know where they were this morning.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Kachina.
Yes. What can I do for you?
What did I want to say? Damn it. Oh, is Barry Miller coming on?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
All right, 10 seconds, guys.
Got it.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. WaterPros.net, the best water systems, the lowest prices. I can't say enough about that. You'll never find a better water system for softening or for purification. Right now, $39.95 gets you everything. Your house will be perfect. Drinking water, softener, alkaline based. Here's what I want to say. It's the healthiest water and healthy for your pipes too. Not to mention plastics, getting rid of the plastics. 303-862-5554, waterpros.net. Hey, Rick, you have a question on fuel additives. Go ahead, Rick.
Good afternoon, Tom.
Hey.
First, I want to say congratulations on your successfulness with your medical
It is,
issue.
again, it is all, man, what can I tell you? It just played out that way. And it's weird getting congratulated because I really didn't do anything except I went through it. But thank you, Rick. I know what you mean, and I appreciate the thought. So fuel additives, do you use them?
Right. Yeah, well, that's my question to Uncle Kevin.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, have you ever heard of HES 505 CRS?
CRS?
CRS.
No.
That is in flag.
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's out of Albuquerque, out of a laboratory in Albuquerque. I saw it on a Scott Kilmer video on YouTube. Supposedly it's a little bit even better than BG products. I know your place over there on Colfax uses BG.
Yeah, we do. We do, and there's a lot of good additives that are coming out, and they're changing all the time. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to keep up with who's, which one's snake oil, which one's not. But that one's very expensive, from what I understand.
Yes, it is. It's about $48 to $50 for the container.
Yep.
And what is the container good for? How many fill-ups?
Well, it's supposedly, from what I've read, something like 10 to 20,000 miles.
Well, it goes in one tank full, I think, is what it is. So it's $50 an application.
Oh, in that regard, yeah.
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 Man, that's expensive. An extra $50
Yeah,
for a tank? Do you do it every tank full, or you do it once a month or once a year? What is it?
Yeah, I'm not that.
I'm not that familiar with I did read somewhere where it's like 10 to 20,000 miles, every 10 to 20,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're supposed to do a superior job with getting the carbon off there. So my other question is this, Kevin, is I just had an oil change done. I have a 210 Malibu,
Mm-hmm.
4-cylinder.
Yep.
It has 192,000 miles on it.
Wow.
I've owned the car brand new. I put nothing but top tier Costco gas in it. Changed the oil everywhere, from 5,000 to 7,000 miles for the life of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And they were recommending that I put the MOA in it.
Well,
And I get it.
It can never hurt.
Well, I get it. That's another profit motive, and I don't really have a problem with that part of it. But I've been keeping up on this car ever since I bought it, and I kept thinking, I don't think I actually even need the MOA.
Not at this point. I think you've been doing just fine without it. So why switch now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was one of the other questions.
In general,
that I had
Kevin,
there.
Kevin and Jeff, in general, let me just ask, how do you feel about oil additives and gas additives in general?
In general, I just think, the generic ones that you just see for 99 cents, at the Walmarts and places are garbage. A good quality additive, I'm all for them. It's just extra layer of protection. Why not?
What do they do?
Engine costs.
What do they
Well,
do?
the super lubricants. Like the MOA is a super lubricant, and it keeps from, engine sludge from forming and everything. A common engine now is $15,000. A $10 bottle, on every other oil change is cheap insurance for an engine.
And do you like oil additives better or gasoline additives?
Oil more than anything, because I think the oil takes a beating. There's a lot of good gasolines out there. I think keep things pretty clean.
Okay, so
I tend to stick to the oil and not so much on the fuel.
So how much would a good additive add to every oil change?
$12 to $15.
And you say it's well worth it?
I think it is, yes.
Okay. Rick, any other questions?
No, that was basically it. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thanks,
and I
Rick.
wish you happy health.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so the bottom line is this. If you have a car that's new and you do it from new, is it better or does it give better protection than if you get a used car and start using it? How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I would say certainly if you start from the beginning, trying to keep it healthy at the beginning. If a used car, whether it's your used car or one you picked up used, you don't know how that thing was treated. So giving it the most TLC you can is everything you can do to help keep it on the road.
But is there any truth to? I heard some people say if you use a good additive after the car has several miles on it, and a car that you buy used, you could be actually hurting the car because it gets rid of all that and it gets it in. You know what I'm saying? It cuts loose some of that stuff. Is that true?
No, not really. And BG even makes, like an engine restore, but, both for gasoline and diesels, because that stuff is going to build up, that sludge, and it's going to start clogging up rings and everything else. And you want to break that stuff free and get it out of there and get more optimal performance.
Do they actually do they actually have studies that show it really does work? Have you guys ever seen studies?
Oh yeah, they have an extensive amount of studies. Yes, yeah, they've been around for a long, long time, at least 30, 35 years.
Well, in fact,
so they're not new.
Well, it's the only thing I get. Every single mechanic I've ever talked to agrees that BG has the best products.
Yeah, they're consistent. They work. There's no snake oil. It's just all quality stuff.
If you had to pick a label second to BG, what would it be?
I've been stuck with BG so long, I
don't have a plan B.
Now, BG makes fuel additives, oil additives. What else? Do they have
Coolant
anything
additives,
for the cooling system?
All fluid. Yep, power steering, everything. Yeah.
Wow. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Marianne has an issue with T-Mobile. Barry Miller wants to talk about a seminar coming up. This is very important about Vestera Turnkey. We'll talk about that coming up. And I want to remind you that Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do a free market valuation of your home. The market is shifting to a buyer's market. So you need to know what your house is going to sell for before you list it. Frank Duran will do a complete analysis free. 303-920-1622.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, not too bad for the lunch hour drive. Got volume on the highways. Typical Friday pattern. Really, there's a lot of folks out and about. I-25 north and the Turnpike pushing up towards Thornton Parkway is sluggish. 270 both directions out of Commerce City. And still seeing construction eastbound 70 at Chambers with backups, and westbound's heavy from Colorado back over to I-25. I-25 through downtown a little sluggish, as well as a little bit of traffic coming out of the tech center from Bellevue up towards about Yale. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
All of us are approaching retirement. We hope we are, right? Whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60. And when you are facing retirement, if you want some help planning for retirement, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies can do that. Now, they're not just a one-product company. They're not just a one-trick pony. They look at every aspect of retirement, all of your 401ks, IRAs, Roths, whatever you have, along with insurance, wills, and everything, passing on your business to a family member or selling it. All of these things, they work together to help you get ready for retirement, whether you're 30 or whether you're 60. And when you're in retirement, they coach you through it. I like these guys, family owned and operated. They're not out to sell products. They're out to help you have a secure retirement. You call them and ask what they can do for you. They'll talk to you free of charge, no obligation. rpcenter.com, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211. American Financing and I have teamed up to help people get out of high interest debt. You hear me harping on this all the time. High interest debt loses you money every single month. When you get rid of it, whatever you save is helping you build wealth. American Financing has the Smart Equity Loan. What they do is they get you a loan to pay off your high interest debt. That loan now is separate. You can pay on it quicker if you want, or you can pay normal payments, But the point is you have breathing room and your credit immediately improves. Talk more to our experts at American Financing. You may have a full refi in store where you want to pull some cash out for needed repairs or stuff. Listen, rates are not that bad when you consider the alternative of these high interest credit cards. It's better to use the equity in your home. This is one of the first times in history I can say that. 303-695-7000. Call American Financing today, 303-695-7000, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182.
Hey, Tom, reboot your stuff. You're kind of fragging out.
What about Galaxy
Okay, I'll do it
Concrete
right now.
Coatings and their transformation?
Crack, and now it's one complete.
All right, best. Now it seems a little
very
better.
pleasant on the eyes.
All right, perfect. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Patty. That guy that was looking for a job from Saul's.
No, not at the price he wanted for the position he wanted.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
If he was a builder, we could talk. But a floor guy? Nope.
Can you please ask Barry to be patient, and I'll get to him, but I don't want to take him next.
You do or do not. I'm sorry.
I need to take a couple calls, but I'll make them faster.
It was.
I just don't want to keep calls hanging too long.
But I've had some guys come in. It's just it's out of hand. It's like,
yeah.
Hi, Barry. Just be patient. We're going to get to you as soon as possible, okay? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to, I think it was once every other month, there was some traveling thing he wanted to do. So, and he wanted to be compensated for that time off.
Yep.
I was like, no, it's not going to work like that.
Yep. I had one guy last month come in. He said he's up to 6 months or 6 weeks vacation at his current place. Let's see if I can match that. Does it mean all within 1 year?
Yeah, I think the wife's finally down to 6 weeks because they can bank all theirs, and she just never leaves. Yeah, but they've actually been encouraging her to take some flipping time off. So. Long Building Technologies.
cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL25 for 25 cents per gallon.
10 seconds here, Tom.
Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Call Fuller.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I just want to remind you that there is a webinar coming up, and it's 10 to 11, and it's on the 17th, which is tomorrow. We'll talk to Barry in a minute about this. It's about Vestera Turnkey, becoming a landlord. Miriam, what's going on with you and T-Mobile?
Yes, sir. I bought a iPhone 16 from T-Mobile the end of December of last year, and it doesn't work. I've been to their office 5 times. I went to Apple in Denver 5 times, and Apple exchanged it for me. It still doesn't work.
Tell me what part doesn't work. Tell me what the problem is.
Yes, the problem is when I talk to them, the voice gets cut off, in and out. They keep the other side says, We can't hear you. We can't hear you. That's the problem, mainly. And then sometimes I'm not able to access my emails. Sometimes I'm not, getting on Google, trying to research something. It doesn't come up easily. I have to wait and wait and wait.
Miriam, that does Miriam, that does not sound like the phone problem. It sounds like your service, your T-Mobile service. Let me ask you something. Before you had this phone,
yes.
What kind of phone did you have before this?
I had Apple 10R, and it was okay, but I lost my husband a few months ago, and I thought I should get a new phone, dealing with everything.
Right.
And unfortunately, it does not. How come my sister, I live with my sister, and she has an iPhone that she bought 3 years ago, they call it a small iPhone, 6 series, and it works beautifully.
Does she have T-Mobile? Does she have T-Mobile?
Yes. We both live we live together. She's using the same network, and she has no problem at all. But with my phone, as I said, even Apple exchanged it once, but it doesn't work.
See, that's what makes me feel like it might not be. It might
Where
not
are you
be
trying
the
to
phone.
use this phone? Is it you trying to use it at home? So you're on a Wi-Fi network. So maybe the Wi-Fi network is down. So you're relying on T-Mobile.
How come the Wi-Fi network works for my sister who lives with me, but not for me? How come the Wi-Fi system I had
Is
worked
your phone
for
set up
previous
to the
phone?
Wi-Fi? You've got the proper Wi-Fi network and password?
Yes, everything.
Tell me this. Where are you located?
What?
I don't want your address.
In
but
Aurora.
In Aurora. Okay.
Yes, Aurora, across from Cherry Creek State Park.
Okay. When you
right across from it.
When you take your phone out.
Yes.
Around the metro area, does it improve in any areas?
Yes. When I go to, for instance, Park Meadow, I go there for shopping sometimes. Park Meadow, I have the same problem.
Does it ever work?
Honest to goodness.
Does it ever work perfectly anywhere?
No, not that I know of.
Now
I have a question, Marianne. When you went to the Apple store, did you try see if it works there?
Well, they what do you call it? They work with it a little bit. What do they call their service? Diagnostic service. And it works there, and they say it's fine, and when I come home, it doesn't work. They even, at Apple Cherry Creek Mall, they exchanged it for me. That was kind of them. But then it's the same thing.
I don't think,
even
Miriam, there's nothing technically that would explain this.
Yes, sir. There is this 16, I'm sorry to interrupt you, I apologize.
No, don't worry.
This 16 series T-Mobile store in Park Meadows said we had some problem with them.
Yeah, but they exchanged it. It doesn't make sense that you would have problems like
Apple
this.
exchanged it.
Well, it doesn't matter who exchanged it.
So what do I do?
Well,
I go there, they fix it, I come home, it doesn't work.
Miriam, have you checked to see if they'll switch you out into a totally different kind of phone?
I'm willing to pay more for Apple Pro 16.
That won't
help. Like an Android phone versus an Apple phone.
I listen, guys. I think there's something in the settings, or something. It's just not logical.
They put even Mr. Martinez. They even put in a new SIM card.
Yeah, that
and
I don't
they
think
said this is okay. But
I don't
it
think it's
wasn't.
the phone, Miriam. I don't think it's the phone.
But how come if the Wi-Fi or the network is bad, how come my sister works with her Apple phone
I didn't
so
say
well.
the network was bad. I don't think it's the phone. They gave you a new phone. They gave you a new SIM card. I mean, why would the same problem persist? It's not the
I
phone.
don't know, sir.
Well, it's
If
not the phone.
if
It's logical. You're not going to have the same exact problems with two phones, especially with a new SIM card. It's logical. It's not the phone. We know that iPhone 16s are not defective. They're not. It's not the phone.
I don't know.
You have to start looking
What
at
should
the
I
service.
do?
And it is very possible that your service, that your sister's service is a level down from yours, or yours is trying to connect. Is yours what is yours? 5G?
What do you mean by that level down?
Look.
What do you mean level down?
What I mean is this. Some older phones will talk to the network easier than the newer phones. Or the network might be. Look at I can tell you that if you've gotten two phones in a row, it's not the phone. It's just not. Does anyone?
So what is it? What should I do? It doesn't work for me.
Can anyone?
Do you think I pay $800 getting a phone does not work and I'll be okay with it? Nobody is.
No, you're right.
It's been 4 or 5 months, sir.
It's not
5 months.
But
the
you
phone.
stated also it works perfectly fine in the store. So something is wrong in your home. So you're not connected to something in your home.
No,
How
no.
come my
Wi-Fi?
sister
No.
is okay?
She said it doesn't work at Park Meadows either. Miriam,
She did.
Does it ever work anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Does it ever work anywhere?
Mr. Martinez, you have in the past have helped me, and I'm very grateful to you. It never worked anywhere.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought you
Honest to
stated that
goodness.
when you took it to the store, it worked fine in the store.
Hey, guys.
The Apple people.
Guys, I think we need someone to visit her. I really mean this. I really do. I want to know something.
I'll be happy to go to Apple store in Cherry Creek again.
Actually, you could come to our office when we're in the studio and someone can help you look at it. I just think it's not the phone.
Not if her personal
Honest to
Wi-Fi is down.
goodness. Yeah,
I
I like to buy another one.
Did you ask them about
it has
trading
a bad
it in?
luck for me.
Did you ask them about trading it in?
They said they don't. Neither Apple nor the T-Mobile would do it. If you would help me to go to Apple and get another phone,
It's not.
I would
It's not
truly
going to be your
appreciate
phone.
it.
It's not going to be your phone. Miriam, it's not going to be your phone.
God, I never had this problem, sir. Believe me.
Now, Miriam,
Believe
does
me,
anyone
sir.
else listen? Don't worry
I'm
about
getting-
it. It's only technology. We'll get this fixed. But I need to ask another question.
Yes,
Does
sir.
anyone else hear what you hear on your phone and acknowledge it?
Right now, I'm speaking on my landline because
No,
my phone
here-
doesn't work.
Here's what I'm asking. Does anyone call?
Uh-huh.
Does anyone have your phone? Did you ever hand your phone to someone and they can see what you're talking about?
No.
Now, can you call
No,
us?
but I
Miriam,
only go
can we
to
call
T-Mobile
you?
and Apple.
Miriam, can we call you on your cell phone right now?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, hold on.
You're
Put her on
welcome.
hold.
Let me get-
Put her on hold. Hey, Deputy D, can you call her?
I'm here.
Can you call
Yeah,
her?
you bet.
I want you
I'll
to
call her from my cell phone.
Yeah, and I want to see what happens during that exchange and if there's a problem that you can discern, just for the heck of it. I don't think it's the phone.
I'll wait for Kelly to get me Miriam's phone number and I'll call her immediately.
All right, good. All right. Hang on. Hey, Barry Miller, real quick here. Barry, tell us what the webinar is going to do tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. In a short 1 hour, everyone at the webinar, just hooking up with their computer on the webinar, will find out how our program works. So then they'll have the comfort level of, that's how I could make 40 or 45% return and do it very safely and be a landlord, but all turnkey, so that Vestera and the team, a property manager is part of the team. We find the best property managers in these hot marketplaces that are growing very nicely and securely and safely for years. They'll find out how the program works, and how they too could have 40 or 45%, many times more, percent returns on an annualized basis year after year.
And you know what? This is no hocus pocus. I'm going through it, Barry. You know that I'm a three-timer with you right now, and I love it.
Three-timer, yeah.
And you guys walk me through everything. In fact, I don't know how you keep track of everybody and keep them on track, but you do. And I want people to tune in tomorrow at 10 in the morning to find out more and to sign up. Where do they go, Barry?
Yeah, they go to a simple location, mybiggestreturn.com. Now that takes you to what we call our side entrance of our website, and it's the registration door. And simple as can be, it's free. No, we don't sell names and you don't get inundated, right. But you do have to register at mybiggestreturn.com, and then we'll send you the Zoom connection later today.
All right, thank you very much, Barry. And of course, anybody wants to know about the program, can't make it, call them at 303-888-3788. More coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
A fairly typical drive throughout the Denver metro before we hit that 1 o'clock hour. I-25 southbound through downtown, slower speeds between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. Northbound I-25, speeds in the 40s and 50s between Alameda and Colfax. Some stop and go on the 6th Avenue eastbound off-ramp to I-25 southbound. Over on the east end, I-70 eastbound at Chambers, roadwork on the shoulder with slow traffic back from Central Park, adding about 3 minutes to your commute. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
I love Discount Bath because they do discounts on baths, something you don't normally hear about. And I'm going to tell you something. If you go to discountbath.com, you can be a believer because they'll give you an uplink when you go there and fill out some information. That uplink is where you can upload video from your smartphone. Then you take your phone, go out to where you want to change the bathroom in the hallway or the Jack and Jill bath or the master bath, or maybe an unfinished area in the basement where it's roughed in, and you tell them what you want, where you want it, how you want to change the bathroom, and they will send you prices without ever visiting you. Now, if you want to talk to them, they're happy to do it, but they take discounts seriously, and they truly are less expensive than everyone else. Discountbath.com. Beautiful bathrooms or fix and flip bathrooms. Whatever you want, they can do for you with savings. 720-979-2322. 720-979-2322. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the company you want 24/7. That's right. If you have a problem and it's in the middle of the night and you can't get your garage door closed, they come out. They have 24/7 service. They also have service for any part of the door, any part of the opener, and they are representatives of many manufacturers. Others are not. This is a real deal. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Great people that you want to know for your garage doors. 720-370-3987.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
Shush up.
I give the people what they want.
Yeah, that's it.
Is today Friday?
All day long, till about midnight, give or take.
Did she just ask if it's Friday?
Sure did.
Jesus.
I'm not into my ninth mimosa yet.
It is Mimosa Day. It is National Mimosa Day. Wait. I saw it earlier.
With all the rattlesnakes and stuff in that one outfit. What's that now? The mega den, they're calling it for rattlesnakes.
Yep, National Mimosa Day, May 16th.
Are you shitting me?
No, it's true.
Is it one of those breeding dens?
Yeah, but they...
As well as National Pizza Party Day. Did you have pizza, Tom?
No, I didn't actually today.
What the hell? We did. We had a party.
Pizza party.
Thanks to Uncle Kev. 10 seconds.
Now easier than ever. You can now set Denver's talk station as a preset.
Awesome. Doing it now.
On the free iHeartRadio app.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Fix It 24/7 is doing emergency backup generators in your home. And all you have to do is give them a call. This is a great thing to have. They hook it up so it automatically takes over with power failures. They can do the whole house or just the vital systems. FixMyHome.com, book now. FixMyHome.com, book now. Okay, so Jerry has a 2008 Jeep Cherokee, and he has an idling problem, I think. Jerry, go ahead.
He's there. He ain't talking.
Jerry? Okay, we're not going to be able to wait for Jerry if he can't talk. So Jerry? All right, let's go.
He gone.
Let's go to David. Thank you. David, what's happening with you?
Oh, first of all, let me say thank God you're there today, Tom. I'll wait forever to speak with you, but with Mark behind the mic, it's like putting Alan Berg in charge of helping people. It's just whatever, you know.
Well,
I remember I used to bring the radio
we each
out.
have our own way of doing things, and what's happening with you?
Anyway, well, ironically, kind of on the same realm as that German accent lady, Miriam, or whatever.
Yeah.
I need I'm kind of a computer illiterate, whatever. I should get with the times, but so I need a good recommendation for. I'm trying to put a security system in, and I need Wi-Fi and such. And I was wondering.
All right, let's talk about it. Hang on, Kachina, tell him to hang on. We'll take care
When
of
it
it.
comes to spring cleaning, don't miss your AC.
All right, David, hang on. We're going to be with you momentarily. Just be patient with me, okay?
Well, you know, they say if somebody doesn't hate you, you're not doing it right.
There you go. You have trouble with rattlesnakes up at your place? You know, when you
We're too high.
Is it too high? Yeah.
Our biggest problem are the bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've recently become active again. So.
They can be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. We've got a community favorite. They call him Ruckus.
Wait, is it a real bear?
Yeah.
And they're feeding him, or
no? They're not feeding. Oh. No. The only thing people feed up there. So you get a lot of people feed the birds, obviously. Then a lot of people feed the foxes.
Well, that'll keep the raptor population down.
Well, there are not many rabbits up there to begin with, because there's still plenty of coyotes and everything else inside the area. But the foxes are great for things like the chipmunks and the voles. So.
But the chipmunks don't really do any harm, do they?
Yeah, they constantly chewing on wiring and
Really?
the vehicles.
And furniture on your deck.
Really, chipmunks?
Oh yeah, they're a pain in the butt, and they're a mess.
Yeah.
Leave jelly beans all over the flipping place.
Yeah, I know what they are. I just didn't realize that they were that much of an issue.
My dogs get them occasionally. So. Yeah, they are. But no match for those foxes, man. They're good. We got a mated pair that tends to stick around our place during most of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had one when I was in Elizabeth. My dog tried everything he could to catch that fox. It was funny to watch. And he was he's an Aussie collie.
Mm-hmm. About that time.
He could catch rabbits, he could catch, but that fox
Oh, yeah.
was, as smart as he was, the fox I think was 10 times smarter.
Well, they got the accolade for a reason.
Yep. And he would torment that poor dog. He'd sit about 100 yards away in the field, flip its tail. You know, it's just like, hello, do you see me now?
It's time for a daily run.
But that dog had tried so hard to come around, and like he never really did it much except when he was fucking with the fox, where he jumped the fence. It was just a field wire fence, only about 4 feet tall, but he'd jump it in the backyard, go around the block, and jump it through the front and try to come in on him. And I mean, it was fucking funny to watch. It was two smart animals trying to outsmart each other. And ran him into the fence 2 or 3 times because he was small enough to fit through the squares of the fence, and the dog wasn't. He just kept going just a little too close.
I had a neighbor years ago. I helped him build his deck. And it was coming up on 4th of July weekend when we finished it. And we're all out on the deck. It's all done. You know, everybody's enjoying a beer. Get the wife out there and whatnot. And his wife keeps walking back and forth, just pacing. What the fuck? I finally figure out, you know, she's fucking with the dog because the dog is chasing her shadow along the fence line. Well, then she walked too far and her shadow went this way. The dog didn't stop. I've never seen a dog knock itself out before. It literally knocked him out.
Oh, that's too funny.
So did her phone work?
No. It was terrible connection. But I have a feeling a dragon was spot on.
Something in the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, she's supposed to be on her Wi-Fi at home, and she's not. She didn't sign in correctly.
Didn't sign in at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
or it's turned off on the phone.
Yep.
The Wi-Fi calling's turned off on the phone.
Exactly.
It's a settings problem. It's a new phone. She doesn't understand it. Yep. So when are you going over, D?
I'll meet you over there. Tell me when you get there, and
I'll call ahead.
I'll relieve you in your second hour. At the end of your second hour.
Ooh, D's back. I wonder what the verdict is.
You good, Jeff? You want anything?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Man, that pizza smells great. Oh, I just might.
If she hasn't already given it away already.
Kel does like to give it away.
When you're good at something, stick to it.
Chief, do you want anything from the break room? Do you want soda, water, coffee?
Nope, I'm good, thanks.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. Okay, what's your name? ARU. Hold on. One more time. Hold on.
10 seconds.
Hold on.
Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Happy to be alive. Thank God for that. And we are here solving your problems, making your life a little easier, as I've been doing in Denver for 45 years and 50 years elsewhere as well. So it's been a long time, the longest running radio show. Let's get to the phones and try to help. David said he's putting in a security system. He's looking for broadband. People call them internet providers. They are. Broadband is made for more than just the internet. It's a pipe into your house. And right now, we have a lot more choices than we used to have. There used to be a lot of little internet providers, and now there's bigger ones with better service. And David, I want to ask, what have you been doing up till now for internet service?
I have only used a tablet or a phone, and obviously they don't recommend using a hotspot or that. You've got to get something hooked up. I know I should get with it, but I haven't.
No, that's okay. So you've been using cell service. You've been using cell service so far.
Correct.
Okay. So this internet service provider, which we call broadband provider, there are a number of choices. I'm going to tell you some of them. Comcast is one, which is Xfinity. Then you have CenturyLink is another. Starlink, which is Elon Musk's thing, that's another option. And then you might have, depending on where you are, other providers. What are you going to be using the broadband for? For your home TVs, your security system, your home internet, right?
Yeah, basically just for the security. I don't watch a lot of television, so. Mm-hmm.
So if you need it just for a security system, why do you? I need to know why you need it for your security system. Broadband is not required for security. What kind of system do you have?
I bought a Blink Outdoor 4, I believe it's called, and I tried to hook it up and follow what they were telling me to do, and then it just keeps, putting me back to square one and doesn't work that way. And then I called the the tech service, and then they said you need broadband or you need
a
service,
home. They
first
said
of
you
all.
need a home network, basically.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. What part of town are you in?
It's like southeast Denver, right on the cusp with Aurora in that area.
Okay. I know right
It's
where
very-
you are. Yeah.
You know,
I would go, if I were you, I would simply call Xfinity. Oh, excuse me. No, actually, I wouldn't. I would do CenturyLink.
David, Tom, I have a great recommendation for David. David, who's your self-service provider?
The cell service?
Yeah, who's your cell service with? What company?
There's sort of like a connection with a collaboration or something. T-Mobile got involved, and it used to be someone else, but yeah.
Well, hey, here's why I bring that up. I have my cell services with Verizon, and for $25 extra per month, they offered me full-on high-speed 5G internet for my home. And it's been working beautifully. I think I've signed up for that about 3 years ago. And I can't tell you how happy I am. I have great connectivity speed for both up and down loads. It's super cheap, and it's never gone down on me, even during power failures.
Now, let me ask you something, D. D,
yeah.
The 5G they offer, is it a little hotspot? What is it?
Oh no, it's it's a box with an antenna and the networking hardware all in it. It's about the size of what a phone book used to look like.
And
then
they
you kind of
have to bring a wire in though. It's all cell based.
No, it's all wireless. It's all wireless. It's stuck on my wall. So what you do is you use their app to figure out where to stick this huge thing on the wall or put it on a piece of furniture somewhere. And it tells you how good of a connection you have to one of their antennas. And I did it, and I haven't moved it since then. It has never gone down on me. And man, it's $25 a month. Now, I know for a fact that T-Mobile has a competing service, because I did shop at T-Mobile about a year ago, and they told me they'll do the same thing for about $30. So either of those companies, my personal experience with Verizon, and I can't tell you how happy I am with that service.
So, David, you can look into...
That is terrific.
You can look into T-Mobile and ask them what home-based broadband they offer. And what Dimitri is talking about, it's kind of like a hotspot. That's what it is. It's picking up the cell service and turning it into broadband for your home through that router. And it's...
Yeah, and it's actually an entire Wi-Fi system is in there. So
Right.
I can connect... I have 2 or 3 computers that are connected to it. I have 2 phones that are connected to it. So it's a full-on home network.
And it's safe, so to speak?
It's going to be as safe as you are, right? So I don't know how easy it is to hack into Verizon's phone internet service, but I have a feeling they're pretty sophisticated at protecting themselves.
So what he means by as safe as you are, if you...
was not recommended.
What's that?
They just mentioned hotspot was not recommended, but this is more than a hotspot. It's the same thing. This actually,
it's not a hotspot. I know what Tom is referring to. It works like a hotspot.
That's the only name I have for it. I mean, it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not a wire coming into the home.
No, it's all wireless, and it's just like a wireless Wi-Fi net. It is a wireless Wi-Fi network. In fact, my neighbor's new refrigerator tried to connect to it, because it recognized it as the strongest Wi-Fi network, and I didn't let the refrigerator into my network, but it's a full-on thing, man. It's now I got to tell you, it was only available as an option because I have their premium telephone service. So if you buy it as a standalone service, it's like $70 or $80 a month. But if you switch your cell phone service to Verizon, they'll offer it to you for $25.
Okay, great.
Thanks, David.
Oh, and never a price increase. I expected the $25 to be for like 3 months or something. I was waiting for them to start sneaking in $10, $15 a month. Since then, they haven't changed it once.
Thank you.
Hey,
Terrific.
David, I want to
great
ask you a
information.
question, David. Have you ever called into the show when Mark took your call?
Oh, in fact, I called in a couple of times. In fact, yeah, I just called in the other day, and I was waiting, and he just goes on and on and on about his own stuff, and I'm like, geez, finally he takes a break, and I'll wait forever for you. I understand breaks, but he just, it's just, oh, I'm telling you, I used to bring the radio out to my mom when she was still alive, and I'm like, this is the guy in charge of helping people. And we would just laugh. It was like a Saturday Night Live skit. I mean, it's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I've called in before, and then I'll say something like you'll get in an argument or something, and then he hangs up on me, and then he tells the audience that he's disconnected, he lies. And I'm telling you, it's just like the guy that would be on the...
He doesn't lie about
being
disconnected.
He did that, and then I called back. He said that, and then he laughed, and no, he does. And I'm just telling you, I mean, if you take a straw hat, hidden, discount Suzanne, she would have to like him, but see how many people like him. I'm telling you, he would be on the sleaze brigade for everybody that knows him.
Oh, I disagree. Well,
I'm telling you, if he takes over the show, there goes the Tom Martino empire down the drain. I mean, what you built up this long. I mean, listen, if my wife was the employee of the New York Yankees, it doesn't mean I get to be the starting pitcher. He should be Deputy Mark, just like you've got a doctor.
God.
I mean,
okay,
everybody.
hold on. No.
He's too good for that.
He's not here to defend himself. There must have been a particular call or something that pissed you off. No?
I don't know what it is. I just can't stand the guy. I can't stand anything about his voice. He can't say one sentence without cursing. And he's not interested in helping. He's interested in fighting. That's what he does all day long. Okay. And then you argue with him, and it's the way
he fights to help people. That's the whole point, David. He fights to help people.
His brain does not work like a normal person. Tom, you waste your time arguing with someone who he always brings it into like 1,000, 2,000% when you're just trying to focus in on one little.
Okay. Well, listen. I let you have your say. I let you have your say. Hold on.
People cannot stand him. I'm not the only one.
Well, okay, but there are a lot of people. Thank you for calling, by the way. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like, whatever. I mean, there's different strokes. I was just curious as to why you said that you didn't want to call in with him. Dimitri, the cell phone.
Present.
That,
yeah.
Miriam said her cell phone doesn't work. Did you call her?
Yeah, and she's right. It was a pretty bad connection. Now, it's obviously impossible to figure out what's actually going on. I have a theory. I think our call quality was pretty awful, and it sounded exactly the way that calls sound when you have somebody in a very bad reception area. So I think Dragon was looking in the right direction when he said, hey, at your house, you have bad reception, but the phone wants to connect to your home Wi-Fi network. And I know for a fact that that's what phones do. And I have a feeling that that's the problem. Now, I did ask her if she has better connectivity or better call quality when she goes to the grocery store or the library or the gas station or whatever. And she didn't address that question. She said, it sounds to me like the only other place she ever goes is Park Meadows Mall. So obviously it's impossible for us to figure out what's going on with her phone.
So
I'm with
if
you
she never hooked to
in
her
that
Wi-Fi,
I don't think it's the phone.
If she never hooked her phone to the Wi-Fi, it has nowhere to go if it has bad reception.
I agree. I think that the phone never got a chance to connect to her home Wi-Fi, or she may have entered the wrong password or whatever, and she needs to dig into the guts of her phone and connect it to the Wi-Fi and then tell us, hey, I'm totally connected and call quality still sucks, and then we can pursue it. But Tom, didn't last fall you had a resource? You had some guy who went out to help an elderly lady set up her iPhone.
Yes, I did.
Is that guy still around, or does he still offer that service?
We call him iTed. He's still around. He's probably listening. Maybe
it would be great if he can offer a house call at a reasonable price.
Well, I don't think he has to charge. He can do it for us. He might do it just to go out there and see. But that's a good idea, Dimitri. iTed, if you're listening. If not, we'll try to get a hold of him. I don't know, Kachina, if you have his number or not. But that's a good one. Dimitri, remind me of that, and I'll hook her up with, I'll ask iTed if he'll take it on. 303-713.
Yeah, I'll remind you on Monday.
Thank you. 303-713-8255. Compass Insurance Group, insurance checkups free of charge to see if you're not paying too much, if you're not underinsured, possibly even overinsured. TheInsuranceHelpCenter.com or 303-996-9000.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are making you feel alone, the Raleigh House is here for you. With 2 locations in Denver, our team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care, offering inpatient and outpatient services. The Raleigh House can meet you where you're at. Our substance abuse and mental health services at the Raleigh House can provide a place where you can reconnect, find your purpose, and heal. The Raleigh House can help. Visit theRaleighHouse.com to get the help you need. That's the RALEIGH house.com.
RecoverYourHair.com. Go to that website. You're going to learn something about hair transplants. You're going to learn where you can have them done exactly like they're done in the States, but for a fraction of the cost. Even when you consider getting there with the airfare and a hotel stay, it's still cheaper. So it's in Istanbul, Turkey. It's a wonderful system. Listen, it's the same hair transplants, the follicle transplants we hear about here, where your hair grows the next day, and you will have incredible results. They'll do the surgery or the implants, and then the next day have a follow-up. You can stay as little or as long as you want there. RecoverYourHair.com. Save money, have fun, take a trip. 970-534-0676. 970-534-0676. RecoverYourHair.com. Gravina's. You want to talk window siding and doors? Gravina's has them. It's the Gravina family at 950 West Evans. It's where Larry started after leaving his dad, and now his son Nick is taking over. It's a family tradition. The Gravinas, 950 West Evans. They have 50 lines of windows, multiple lines of siding and doors, and that's what I like. Choice, tradition, value, quality, everything you want in a company. Give them a call, 303-GRAVINA, 303-GRAVINA, or gravinas.com.
Supposed to reverse all Gravina?
Mark said the like lives. That was an actual
Got
live.
it.
So I am not going to delete a actual live.
Got it.
As well as there are several recorded spots.
I'm just trying to have your back.
So, yes, I do appreciate that. But the quantitative thing there was Mark said the like lives. So if the ones that we were to play, if Tom was not here and Mark was not here, that one would just have to be scrapped.
Wonder if they snubbed him. Didn't give him.
Well, you know, Mark's quick to block people on YouTube, so I'm sure.
Says Colin De Niro
That's
brings
understandable.
steam, aging gas bags.
What's that?
As we were just discussing, Mark is abrasive, but he is very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
So he's referring to the
I just
aging
texted
gas
Suzanne to have him call in because of that guy who.
You did? You're so smart. That'd be great.
De Niro's still talking like he's gonna push somebody out.
I think he believes he's one of his characters.
Yeah, he might. You know, because what is he, like 84?
Who's that?
It's one of his qualities.
Yep.
What's that?
It's one of his qualities.
Yeah. You know, you tell a lie enough times and you start to believe it yourself.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
God almighty. Whose cock was that?
Oh. I think that was Rooster Lady. Remember Rooster Lady with the bad windows from Renewal by Anderson?
What happened?
She had all these roosters during the call.
The whole elephant, the whole zoo, I think, was there.
Oh. And I thought I was the only one who thought that was really cool.
They might be out of snow range, though, because they're driving up the road.
We did kind of get lectured, though, that day.
That was a different day. He's talking about something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about the farm scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it was cool.
Oh.
Who was that?
Oh, that was Dragon.
That was Doc.
My fault. I accept responsibility.
The one time I asked for sound effect was that little Cucaracha song, and you guys didn't play it. It was during one of our many phone calls about cockroaches in new apartments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I blame Shannon for that one.
Oh, yeah.
K-How.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-8255. Arishaw, I believe I'm saying that correctly. Are you Shaw? What's going on?
So I'm in an apartment complex in Westminster, and they shut our water off yesterday. They shut the water off yesterday about 1 o'clock.
Why?
But I didn't know. I guess they have like a broken pipe. Like they have a broken pipe somewhere, and they shut the water off. So it's like nobody over here has had water since about 1 p.m. yesterday. And
well, wait a minute. How long do they expect to leave it off?
They sent us a text message. And when we all got the text message, the leasing office was closed. So we couldn't even contact the leasing office. Like, we've all been without water since about 1 p.m. yesterday. I have a 5-month-old daughter.
That's
that
ridiculous.
is with me.
Did you, in the text message, did they say when they expected it to be back?
Yeah, they told us in the text message that it wouldn't be right until Monday. But it's like if the water's going to be off for over 24 hours, you guys should kind of be placing us somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right.
Should be,
How many
We're
apartments?
totally like...
Arishaw, how many apartments?
It's about 60. Like we're the only building over here that doesn't have water. Like it's probably about.
Wait. How many units? How many units are without water?
I would say it's a good 60 units. Like we all don't have water. Nobody has water right now. Like
so, is that a total of
I'm
60
having to
units?
pour water.
So is it
I'm
the
having
whole?
to-
Is it the whole
Yes.
complex, Arshu?
It's the whole. It's not the whole complex, but it's my building.
Okay.
Like it's my whole building. Like we don't. So literally, like we're having to put water in our toilet to even flush the toilet.
But where are you
Like,
getting
we're-
the
we're
water?
like-
Where are you getting the water?
So there's right across the street from where I stay at. There's like it's like a garden center, and you can go over there. Like everybody, it's crazy. Like everybody had 5-gallon buckets, and everybody was grabbing like just buckets or just something to put water in. Like this is the whole like my whole complex, like my whole building. Like this is crazy. Like this is crazy, and I know that this isn't
Now,
right.
is
Like,
management open right now?
I can't afford to be.
Is management open right now?
I went to management. I went to the building this morning, and management is not even in the building. There's nobody even at the leasing office. Like I went to the building this morning, and they're totally closed.
Are there any people working? Do you see any plumbers?
Yeah, I have a number. them.
Did you call?
I called that number, and they even sent an emergency maintenance guy last night. But he was so scared because people were kind of bugging out on him. And last night he told me I don't want everybody to beat me up. So I had the maintenance guy just stand with me at my apartment because it's this is not your fault. This is not your fault, and they shouldn't have just sent you in here.
The phone number
to
you
deal
have,
with everybody.
The phone number you have, is it the management company?
It's the property, yes. The number to the leasing office, where I stay at, yes.
Does anyone answer the phone?
Nobody's answering the phone today. I walked over there early this morning.
Is there a headquarters somewhere we can call? Arashu, have you called the city health department? Who's in jurisdiction? What jurisdiction are you in? A county, city?
I haven't because I'm in Adams County and I live in Westminster, but it's I didn't know who to call myself. I really just didn't know who to call.
Are you in the city of Westminster?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
We ought to try.
I'm in Westminster, but I wasn't for sure who. I didn't know who I should call.
You want to try calling someone? I want to give it to one of our people to start calling to see if we can find out. I mean, obviously, Arashu, they can't do this for a long period of time, and they got a problem. But
there's usually two numbers: a leasing office and a management office,
or an emergency number.
There's usually an emergency number if you call. I'll call the leasing office right now.
They're just not open today. The leasing office, they're just not open. The way they sent these messages, so they sent us these messages after the leasing office even closed. So the number that the message came through that we didn't even have water,
what's
that's
the name
a totally
of the complex?
Different number than the leasing office.
What's the name of the complex?
The name of the complex it's Terrace Garden. Terrace Garden is the complex name.
Terra Gardens?
God, you can give us the leasing office number, right?
Terrace.
He can do that on the phone, right? Right now?
Yeah.
What's the leasing office number?
Terrace Garden. I'm on the phone with him. Terrace Garden. You need the number to them?
Yeah, I do.
I have it.
Let me.
I have it.
So
hey, we still don't know the really important part of this call. Is there anybody on site working on this? Do you see any service vehicles? Any plumbers? Denver Water? Do you see anybody over there working on your water situation?
Right now, no.
Well, what about earlier today?
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. So,
well, they obviously
they
obviously want to get it working. I mean, it's not like they don't want to get you working. We just got to figure this out. This is ridiculous.
This is if they think that we can all wait until Monday, I can't. I just can't afford that. My daughter's in the house. I have a 5-month-old daughter.
So
I
what
need
are you
water.
Do?
I need water.
What are you
going to
do?
We've all I have gallons of water. I have, you know what I mean? I have gallons of water. I have water to.
I understand.
You know what I
Hang
mean?
on.
I
Hang
can't
on. We're going to make some
shower or do.
We're going to make some phone calls. Hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We're going to make some phone calls, find out what's going on. 303-713-8255. This is ridiculous. If you're going to turn off water, they should at least communicate with people to let them know what's going on. By the way, K&H Home Solutions has painters now, as well as window siding and doors. K&H Painting Pros. Go to khwindows.com.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Over on the east end of town through the tech center, you're going to see some stop-and-go traffic. I-225 southbound approaching Yosemite Street. Looks like there is fire activity At the RTD Park and Ride around the area, you may see some fire vehicles blocking lanes. Otherwise, a fairly standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. I-25 north and southbound, no major complaints through town. We do have a crash on the I-25 southbound on-ramp from eastbound 6th Avenue. I'm Mark Swan with traffic.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
FixMyHome.com is the website for Fix-It 24/7. And they have some offers I want to tell you about. First of all, $39 extreme clean for your air conditioner to get it ready for the coming cooling season. $39. They clean each and every component. Dirt and debris is the worst enemy of AC. They also have the $49 sump pump service check and clean. That's right, for $49, get to that sump pump you've never looked at since you moved in. Get it serviced with a no breakdown guarantee. Avoid flooding in the spring rains. That's fixmyhome.com. Book now, $49 for your sump pump. Then they have emergency generators they'll install that you can put into your home with qualified electricians to come on and off automatically when you need them. And that's fixmyhome.com. Book now. Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. I hope you never need him, but he's there for you to represent you if you have a major traffic ticket, a DUI, a scuffle with a neighbor, a serious offense. Whatever it is, you deserve counsel, and you don't want to shop under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. I've known Joe Lazara for many years. Lazzara, LazaraLegal.com. Also find him at referralist.com, 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations, and then flat rate pricing. That's important for the whole thing. One price, one flat rate. 303-429-6200.
Hey, it's...
You there, Tom?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to leave $100 in singles on the desk here. And so when callers like that call in, you can offer them $1 reward if they can string together 10 words without using the word like.
Yeah. Are you talking to Tom?
Yeah.
Tell him I tried both numbers and they didn't work. I need to get the number that...
Kelly's got it.
Oh,
She was on the phone. She was on the phone with him.
Okay. Because both those numbers are not in service.
It's the only ones I found, yeah. No, it feels like the guy should be Californian blonde.
Oh, man.
Like Barbie.
That was challenging.
Hello.
Yep.
It was like nails on a chalkboard.
What was, Jet? What was?
He said like every other
third
three
word. He
words.
said like.
Oh.
It's like the apartment, like the water, like the thing, and like, yeah.
How's the energy levels coming, Tom?
Better every day, but man, it's there.
You hit that wall toward the end of the day?
Yep, for sure.
How sweet Princess the kitty cat.
Oh, she's looking for you every time I come down here.
Oh, I miss
Tom's
her.
recovering from major surgery, and you're asking how the cat is?
He's always got his mind on pussy.
Oh!
Oh my God! Oh, Jeff Vick with the...
Oh. Can we get Tiffany on the phone?
That was fantastic. Did I tell you, Dimitri, that I have a huge...
Better hurry up and finish that one.
Yeah, I thought you wanted
Don't
to
leave us hanging on that one, yeah.
It was. Just the opposite of
Your timing is not good here, Kelly.
Rash?
Massive. Nothing ever hits the
bird
sides.
problem. My birds have been eating... Not my birds. Birds have been eating my squirrel nuts that I keep out for them.
Yeah.
I caught them the other day.
Yeah, that'll
Little
happen.
know what she
bastards.
does.
Put out some black sunflower seeds. They'll probably attract that faster. The birds.
But that just means they'll get the squirrel sick.
What's that?
Oh, no, squirrels love sunflower seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Zach.
Not the salty ones, but it's called black oil sunflower seeds. They sell them at Walmart. I buy them in 40-pound sacks for
for squirrels, for the little babies.
Yeah, and if you put some up high for the birds too, they'll probably attract to that faster than they will on the feeders for your squirrels.
Yeah, you got to feed the birds too to keep them out of squirrel nets.
I'm not going to feed the birds. I hate the
You
birds.
already are feeding the birds.
I almost brought my 10 gauge
No.
yesterday.
No.
Just shoot the birds.
Wait, 10 gauge?
Yeah.
You,
It's the only thing I can shoot now.
Do you know what a 10 gauge is?
So bad.
10 gauge is a cannon.
It's a cannon. It'll break your shoulder.
She's scrappy.
I can shoot it. It's the one
It
thing.
knocks her back about 10 feet.
Are you
but,
thinking of 12 gauge or 20 gauge? by any
No,
chance?
10 gauge. We have a 10 gauge.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, with my eyesight now, Adam just wants something that I can point and shoot. Like,
So you might need a blunderbuss next.
I'm not allowed to touch the ARs or the 9 mils or anything like that.
Sound policy. That is sound policy.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't like the birds right now.
Oh.
10 seconds, guys.
5 miles west to the tree farm.
You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right Home Improvements. DRHI.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Phil, go ahead. You have a comment?
Hey, Tom, I've been out of town. I heard that you were in the hospital. I hope everything went okay.
Everything went great. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard you had cancer or something.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer, sir, which is a rare
Oh, my
cancer.
God, that's the worst.
It is. And thank God that in my case, it was totally operable, isolated, and removed.
Well, Italians never die, that, right?
I'm not going to be bold anymore. I used to be bold about my health, thinking I knew everything, but this came out of the blue. But Phil, everything is wonderful.
Hey, yeah, well, congratulations and everything. I hope they got the cancer out and everything. I was out in Minnesota on the funeral, and I just got back yesterday, and I heard that.
Well,
and
thank you for calling, Phil. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and there's another thing. That gentleman that called about water damage, or not water damage, no water in these apartments.
Right.
Okay, I know it could be from 64th in Sheridan in Urbana to Westminster on 80th in Westminster on Sheridan. They're putting these great big sewer lines in, and I talked to one of the guys over there, and he said that they did cut a couple water lines.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's...
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be. We'll look into it. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. 303-7.
All right.
It's 713-TALK, 713-8255. I appreciate your thoughts and appreciate you congratulating me. Claudia, you have a comment on Arishu's apartment with no water. What is your comment?
First of all, I'm glad you're well. Second of all, Mark is wonderful. That guy is an idiot. So anyway, the way we used to do it is we would call the fire department because you're not going to get a hold of the management office. They probably won't answer. I worked for the county for a long time. And they need to know about it. If there were a fire, there's no way to help that building at all.
Well, I don't know.
And they can get on the...
Go ahead.
They can get on to the management to give them an answer and make sure there's something going on with a quicker emergency than anybody else can do it.
I never thought of that. The fire department might have contacts. Deputy Doc, are you trying numbers? Claudia, hold on, because Doc, have you tried any of the numbers?
Tom, Doc stepped out because he's probably working the phones, working on this matter.
Okay. Yeah, he's trying a few numbers to see if we can get through to somebody. And it does sound strange that they just turned off the water. It's Terrace Gardens in Westminster. maybe Phil has a point. They're working on the water lines with the city, and maybe, or the county did it. So we'll check it out. And Claudia, that's a good tip. If you call the fire department and say, what happens in case of a fire? Do you have emergency contacts for this apartment complex? And perhaps they
Right.
do. Thank you, Claudia. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So anyway, there is a thing going on with teenagers right now that's pretty amazing. It's terrible. And it's where they text teenage boys pretending to be a teenage girl. Now, it's a twist on that old love scam, but instead of targeting middle-aged women and middle-aged men, now they're going after horny teenage boys. And I say horny teenage boys because this is how the scam works. They literally say that, they're interested in them. They send a sexy picture of a teenage girl, and then they ask the boy to send a picture back, and the boy sends a picture back. And by the way, this is happening, and it's real. There have been many kids targeted on this. So when the kid sends the picture back, then they blackmail the kid saying, we are going to publish this picture. It's called sextortion. And we're going to publish the picture to all your friends and neighbors and family and your contact list unless you pay us. Now, they're taking payments as little as $25 or $30 all the way up to $150 to $200. At first, they ask for thousands, and the kids panic and say they can't pay it. Then they say, okay, what about $100? And these kids manage to scrape together money to keep their pictures private. But it has been going on. It started in California, and a lot of kids are tapping into their college money or their spending money or their savings accounts to pay this off. And so the FBI is on it, but it's called sextortion. You really should talk to your kids about this. You really should, because it's a real deal. If they're being targeted by someone of the other sex, it's usually teenage boys being targeted now by so-called attractive young women who want to have a relationship with them. And of course, a lot of times we know that the teenage boys are not thinking with the correct brain. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So that is called sextortion. Sextortion is not new, but the new targets now, teenage boys, that is a new development. Genesis Total Exteriors. They do bathrooms, basements, kitchens, exteriors, and mold remediation once they discover it. So you can trust these people. Genesis Total Exteriors, and of course interiors, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Over on the east end of town through the tech center, you're going to see some stop-and-go traffic, I-225 southbound approaching Yosemite Street. Looks like there is fire activity at the RTD park and ride around the area. You may see some fire vehicles blocking lanes. Otherwise, a fairly standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. I-25 north and southbound, no major complaints through town. We do have a crash on the I-25 southbound on-ramp from eastbound 6th Avenue. I'm Mark Swan with traffic.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
All right. John Fuller is is a personal injury attorney, and he will help you with any injury you have in a vehicle. What you can do is call him, and without hiring him, without obliging yourself, you can ask him to go over your case. He'll do it free of charge. That's his service to you. And if you do decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. He's one of the few attorneys that offer upfront help without any signing up at all. All you do is talk to him. If you're comfortable, you want to hire him, that's fine. Give him a call at the first sign of trouble. Find out what your rights are, what your case is worth. 303-597-4500. 888-597-4500. American Financing is partnering with me to put out the Smart Equity Loan because we believe getting out of high-interest debt is your first step toward financial freedom. You can break out those credit card debts you have accumulated. Seriously, get rid of it. Use your home equity now. Home equity is high. And the rates on the Smart Equity Loan are into the 5s or 6s, and it's well worth it when you consider the cost of credit cards. Then you can pay that part of the loan off quicker, or you at least have breathing room and your credit immediately improves. So get rid of that debt, or possibly a full refi where you have to pull some cash out, plus you pay off your debts, because even though the rates are not at historic lows, it's still better than being in financial turmoil. Consolidate with AmericanFinancing.net. 303-695-7000. Their experts are standing by. 303-695-7000.
NMLS 182334.
Tell Tom that I have a follow-up.
Okay, good. I got you.
You got it? Okay.
Okay.
Who's buzzing?
Not me. It's not anything here. It's coming from your side. It's coming from where you guys are.
God, I might have to go on that shit. Find out Saturday. But don't really want to have injections in my eye.
Well, just a minute ago, that said 2 were captured.
Oops.
Huh?
See how many
Oops,
times
I guess.
I get
They'll catch them.
almost hit.
Smart ones never stay out.
The smart ones never go in.
Never go in. Yeah.
Suck.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
These pharmaceutical commercials, how much money they spend on these TV ads. I mean, I can't believe there are that many doctors that are swayed by a patient coming in and saying, I heard this on the radio, I want it. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
You never know, I guess.
I guess it, I mean, it must be working for them.
Escape here. The little arrow pointing. I don't think that's what that says, but you're just showing the
I mean,
cell
when I had a patient come in, I would say, look, you
arrow
know,
pointing to the hole that they
if you
escaped
trust
from.
me to be a doctor, you've got to trust me to give you
Escape here.
the best treatment. And
We're not
what
sure
you
if
hear
this
on
is
the
an
radio
inside
TV
job.
is not always the best treatment.
There's different styles.
I don't know. One could surmise that could possibly be a clue. Very
There was some mental issues. There were some things.
Oh, now it says 9.
But that's
10
an outlier.
9 inmates at large,
Maybe
1
it is.
captured.
Don't you think so?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. 'Cause I never go to the doctor.
Kid that got captured. What is he, like 400 pounds or something? He can't run?
Oh. None of them look big.
It does seem like some of them
Well,
were
then how
just,
the hell
you know,
did he not
prescription
get
writers.
out?
Maybe he's just not athletic, just not a runner.
Oh, well, happens to the best of us. I hate going downstairs now in the morning because just the sounds that come out of my body are just like, wow. What the hell was that?
Those kind of sounds?
No, not necessarily. More like cracks and
I think those are some cracks.
like the hip
No.
issues and
Somewhere in the neighborhood.
the ankles that, you know, you step down and they're like wobbly and you're like, oh, come on, don't do that.
10 seconds, guys.
The knees.
And I offer our thoughts after seeing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning starring Tom Cruise. It all starts at 2 on 630 KHAL.
Tom Martino here at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. RenewHomeInnovations.com for your shower conversions. Beautiful sheet porcelain, beautiful, no maintenance. Get it done in 2 or 3 days with months to pay. They have all kinds of repayment plans. 303-904-2000, RenewHomeInnovations.com. The most beautiful showers I've ever seen. Deputy Doc, you have a follow-up. What's going on?
Well, I was able to get finally in touch with somebody that they have an answering service, and she said she was going to contact the maintenance department and the management company. She wouldn't give me the numbers, but she said somebody should get back to him in 15 minutes. So I told him to call me immediately, and if we don't get satisfaction, we will do what you suggested and call the fire department.
Yeah, so they did have an answering service, though.
They did finally, yes.
Were they aware of what you were talking about?
Of course, no, of course not. It sounded like some. I won't be mean. It sounded like someone who was not really competent to be answering phones.
Of course,
but she did take down the message, and we'll see what happens.
That's the way it is. I mean, but this is, no water is way more serious than even no heat.
Of course.
Or no AC or whatever. I mean, it's really bad for sure.
And I told her to make sure she talks to the management company about giving him permission to take his 5-month-old baby to a hotel for the night if the water's not turned on.
Yep, absolutely. That's something that needs to be done. Okay, I want to talk about a couple other things here that's important. On the automobile, Kevin and Jeff, we had a couple questions. I want to get through it real quick about additives. What if someone is changing their oil religiously 5,000 or 6,000 miles? Do additives do any additional help, or is the changing of the oil enough?
Well, it depends on what the additive is you're using. I mean, if oil additives, I know Al, when he was here, he was pretty religious about it on every oil change.
Yep.
If you do it, every couple of 3, then I think you're probably receiving a benefit from there. A lot of fuel additives, I recommend them with every tank. I mean, especially if you're running diesel, running something like Alliant or Sanodyne, this is crucial for them anymore. In actuality, since they drop down to low sulfur fuels, the Sanodyne or Alliant will actually act as a lubricant there, make up for that sulfur loss.
Yeah, it does.
I have a very
gas motors don't require so much as far as maintenance because you can repair fuel injectors and sleds easy. The sleds inside a motor you can't fix, so that's why I recommend the oil additives. It just prevents a lot of problems.
I have another basic question. This is really basic, and that is, why don't the oil companies put it in their oil?
Well, they've already got a lot of additives inside the petroleum products anyway. We're just boosting up whatever their quality product is, just trying to make it better.
Okay. All right. That's, of course, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, transmissionsdenver.com. And then we also had Kevin Calkin with us, Uncle Kevin, SheridanAutotech.com. I'm Tom Martino. Remember, folks, your well wishes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep going strong for you. Save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom.
Everybody, see ya.
See ya.
Stay connected with